Wow. Hey, much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. How you guys doing today on your Sunday? Thanks for tuning in once again. Appreciate you guys that are here early and always. I always see the same people. It's like, seems like I don't have 164,000 subscribers. Like, what's going on? Like, I get more subscribers, my channel grows, but I get less views and less people on the live. I'm trying to make sense out of that. You guys got to understand, YouTube does not notify people. I'm shadow banned. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Help me get more traffic, guys. Please like and share. Make sure you are subscribed, or else you cannot chat on the live chat. Make sure you're subscribed. Please like and share. I am shadow banned. Help me get through these algorithms. You see, Shwesam Sirway said he never got a notification. This is what I'm saying, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, they'll notify some of you, but like 75% or 80% of my subscribers, they don't notify. So, you know. Hey, Red Room, if you didn't see the video I did recently about that, then, you know, you're not keeping up to date. That's what's up. That's it. I showed why. I showed what's up. And that's it. We moved on, man. We moved on, man. Forget about haters and losers and nobodies, man. We're on a different vibe now. Shout out to Olmec 12 for that intro beat. Shout out to Olmec 12. And shout out to Science and Olmec for the background music. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for sharing that with me. Appreciate the love. Shout out to everybody in the live chat, all my moderators, all my Patreon supporters, all the new patrons. Appreciate you guys. Today we're gonna go ahead and just, you know, prove more and more that America's a true old world. And I know a lot of people, why he always saying that, why he's so biased. But hey, I didn't write these articles. I didn't write these books in the 1800s or 1900s. I didn't write none of this stuff, guys. I didn't know that all these years we keep finding more and more proof of it, more and more people talking about this. And I got another one today. All right. We're going to get into this article right here. It's called American Antiquities, or the New World, the Old. And the old world is actually the new, okay? Again, the new world is actually the old. And the old world over there is actually the new world, okay? A lot of people have been telling you, but they didn't ever change the textbooks. This is the stuff they never told us about, so we wouldn't think about this stuff. I haven't read this article at all fully. I read a couple in the first paragraph, and I just saw the title and I'm like, oh, this gotta have drop. This gotta have some drop. This is not a reminder video, guys. This is a new video. This is not a reminder video. This is a whole new article we're gonna read today. This is not a reminder. This is not a do-over. I'm showing you something new that is actually old. Just like the title says, the new world is actually the old world. And the old world, the new, by John T.C. Heaviside. Le primero homes nacrisen que sur le prière. So I know that's French and that says something about the first man. I don't know what the rest says. If you guys want to translate that for me. All right. This is from 1868, guys. 1868. Somebody was actually talking about this in 1868, letting their colleagues and peers know their research and what they're finding out. And this never was told to us. All right. Again, this is before their so-called reconstruction period, their whole reset, their whole disfranchisement of people in America by skin color and the whole Americas, the whole people. Before the 1900s textbooks and whitewash history and fake history of out of Africa theories, which is false. We have debunked that. We ain't coming out no monkeys. This ain't about Darwinism. And ancient Egypt was here, guys. This is more proof. Another person letting you know what he found. Okay, in the 1800s. In the 1800s. It says here from Copan, back of figure at the top left-hand side over mask. Stevens, Central America. All right, Stevens. Got that book. So let's find out what they got to say here in this article about ancient America. Let me know if the music is too loud. I'll put it down a little bit. Again, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for coming through. We live. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you shared the video. Please help me get some traffic. Hey, why wouldn't this zoom in? That's weird. You guys see that? It won't let me zoom in. What's going on? Come on, stop hating. What's up with this? Hold on, guys. This is acting up. Wow. Come on. What is up with this? Okay. See if I can. Decided, man. 250. Come on. Okay. All right. Thank you. Egypt, it says here. So-called Egypt, right? Where's the true Egypt? In the Americas, the true ancient Egypt. Remember, Egypt is a Greek word, which stands for the Temple of Ptah. A temple, not a landmass. Not a landmass in Africa. It doesn't mean a landmass in Africa. That's what they named it in modern times, to fool us, to rewrite the history and place ancient places over there in that side. But again, that's just the new world. So it says, on the discovery of the Americas, Montezuma reigned as Emperor of Mexico, surrounded by a highly organized system of priesthood, a magnificent court, and splendid temples in which were performed severe and terrible ceremonies. That's the hijack a little bit. The mighty empire over which he ruled gradually became, as you receded from its center, less civilized, until on its extreme borders a hunter roamed wild over grounds containing remains even more ancient and remarkable than those upon which the buildings of Mexico were erected, and which astonished the Spaniards as they entered Mexico for the first time. Okay, so I just want to add this: Montezuma and the so-called Aztec, they just had gotten there, guys. They had just gotten there, 1300s, 1400s, established themselves. They're not ancient in this area, okay? They're not the original Mexica. Mexica came before that, way before that. It's in their codices, okay? So in South America and Peru reigned the Inca, all right? Same thing with the Inca. They came a little later. There was already ancient people in these areas. Supposed to be the son of the Peruvians' chief god, the sun. Here, as in the north, were magnificent temples encrusted with gold, bronze, implements, a highly organized priesthood, and skirting this empire were hunting tribes hiding in the forest. Amidst ancient buildings, constructed in some hazy and mythic age, long before the Incas came. Listen, this is what I was saying. Some of them in construction being more wonderful than even the great temple of the sun built by the Peruvians. All authorities, as well as the histories and traditions of America, establish one fact, namely that America was first people in the north, and that from the north these first inhabitants migrated to the south, and from east to west. As we follow this migration from the Great Plateau of California down the rivers Colorado and Gila to Central America, we find huge pyramids constructed, recording the path the people took. Arriving in Central America, we meet with the sculptured alligator, the obelisk, and with buildings at Palenque, with the roofs of the corridors constructed in the same unique manner as in the roof and a building supposed to be one of the oldest in the old world. All right, in Palenque, the temple in the island of Euboea on Mount Oca or Ocha. In this temple, the stones which overlap each other decrease in gravity from the bottom to the top. Thus, the weight of each subjacent stone enables it to balance and support the weight above it. And the lowest course is so adjusted as to balance the whole series. As we trace these autochthons of America, autochthons, onward in their steps, we find them cross the line. We follow them in the southern path until we arrive at their sacred lake, Titicaca, 14,000 feet above the level of the sea. There we find them lost in the dark ages of the past, leaving a temple upon the portico of which birds' heads are sculptured, similar to those found on some of the most ancient temples of Egypt, just like the ones in so-called ancient Egypt. Yeah. Hey, Red Rum, I'm gonna explain to you. Nobody timed you out. You're speaking. Nobody timed you out. You're speaking right now. They erase your, because you keep asking about things that are off topic. We already dealt with that fool, and we're not talking about him anymore, okay? So if you want to actually talk to me, you can reach out to me at any time, okay? If you want to talk about that. Or just check my video recently. And that's why, that's what's up, and that's it. I showed what he said about me, and I moved on, man. I exposed his true colors so people who care can see. And that's it. I moved on, man. Okay? But you didn't get timed out. You're talking now, so don't take it personal, man. So, so-called Egypt, right? Shout out to UBTV, right? You got a whole series, right? America is Egypt. I mean, we got our older videos. We've proven this. He's got a whole, series going on about that and adding more and more proof to our research. Did the Egyptian teach this wanderer from the north to sculpture bird heads upon the portico of his temple, 14,000 feet above the level of the sea? Or did the Egyptian pass his childhood in America? Are they from America? And there learn how to build his pyramid and how to raise his obelisk and to dedicate it to the great god Deus Solis. Yeah. So they're saying, hey, which one is it? Did Egyptians teach this to us, or did we teach it to the so-called Egyptians? Well, America is ancient Egypt, and so-called ancient Egyptians were from here. So this is what they still didn't understand in the 1860s. But remember, this book is written in 1868. He's letting you know America's the true old world. He's about to get to that. Let us see if the latter hypothesis can possibly be sustained. The word obelisk in the Coptic or Egyptian language means statua, statue stone. The obelisks of Egypt are plain, polished, having hieroglyphics incised upon their surface, but no statue feature about them. The obelisk discovered in Central America, listen, an obelisk discovered in Central America by Mr. Stevens is thus described. It is 23 feet out of the ground, with figures of men on the front and back, and hieroglyphics in low relief, surrounded by a base projecting 15 or 16 feet from it, okay? Guys hear that? Here, then we have the startling fact that the Americans had the real thing, of which the Egyptians possessed merely the name, okay? Let's repeat that again. Right? Here, then we have, oh, we can't highlight today, guys. We can't highlight today. It's not working. But again, the Americans had the real thing. The Americans had the real thing. So when you're saying, you know, you got these obelisks that they supposedly found in Egypt, they put them in England, they put them in New York, they put, those are probably from ancient America, guys, especially if they got hieroglyphics and stuff on. They were more complex here. We had the real thing, in which the Egyptians literally just took the name. They just copied. They just took the name. That's what's up. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody supporting. If the Egyptians derived their obelisk or statue stone from America, they might retain the name after they had lost a figure, which made it significant. But if they never had the figure, from whence could they have derived the name? Now, the chief god of the Egyptians was called Kem. What does he mean by that? Kem, guys, if you don't know, Kem, the etymology of Kem means rich, fertile, black soil. That's what Kem means, rich, fertile, black soil. Rich, fertile, black soil. It's not a deity. It's not a place. It's not a landmass in Africa. Okay, we have plenty of rich, fertile black soil in the Americas. So why are you only trying to put it in Africa? Especially in a desert. Especially in a desert. Especially in a desert. This god they represented as only having one hand and arm, the right one, the left being rounded off at the shoulder. The sacred book of the Toltec race of Americans contains the following story. The sun god was struck in the jaw by a hero god, but he pulled off the hero god's arm to the shoulder and carried it off in triumph. All right, you guys hear that? So he's saying, look, the Toltec wrote about this, which an Egyptian, so-called ancient Egyptians had as a deity. Hence, we find in America a god represented with one arm, and hence I concluded that, as the Egyptians had no such myth as I have given, they learned to adopt this peculiarity of their god Kem from those who had the myth to explain it. Again, he's literally telling us what Leplejone is letting us know, and many other people, just like Graham Hancock in modern times. Like, when it comes to certain mythology in ancient Egypt, they don't have no origin story. It just came out of nowhere. They have no explanation as to where they made all this stuff up from. But when you come to the Americas, you can actually learn the history and the origin of a lot of these things, of these so-called myths. I mean, we've gone over this in so many different ways, so many different videos by so many different people. All right? Got to understand that. That's a big important thing. A lot of you Pan-Africans don't want to understand that, refuse to see the logic. Where is the origin of things? People got to have it from somewhere. They have to originate from somewhere. And so what they're telling us is that a lot of that is just copies. Mythology is just copying ancient stories of America. Now, in the representation of their god Amon, there is a mark running from the back of the head down to the ground. What did this mark signify? From the manner in which it is drawn in another illustration, where Osiris, the son of the son of the sun, the son of the sun, Jesus. You mean the son of Jesus? You know, Jesus means son, right, guys? And the Ojibwe Algonquin, you know, the Ojibwe Algonquin language, right? You guys know that? Remember, we got a video on this. The son of the sun, huh? Osiris, huh? Isn't Osiris part of a trinity? So he's represented as kneeling in the act of prayer before Kem or Amnon. I conclude it signified a handle, because in this case, both ends of the mark are attached to the figure of the god. The peculiarity of the Peruvian antiquities is a water vessel, and the Peruvians had one buried with them to sustain them on their future journey. Khan, or a water vessel, was the mysterious object of worship in South America before the Incas came. Before the Incas came, that's what I was saying, guys. The Incas just got there. All right. Hey, much love, Ambush. You know, yeah, that's kind of what they tell us. Oh, but it was green over there. You know, we have to believe that. You know, they have to try to say that so they can still try to put the fake Egypt over there. But they have corn and pineapples and all this other stuff on their walls, and American animals, American deities. Like, the animals are all American animals, the deities, I mean. So yeah, okay, maybe it was green over there. Maybe it was green in Antarctica too. Does that mean, you know, maybe the whole world was green at one point? Hey, Leo. Leo, you gotta catch up, man. Like, me and UBTB know each other, man. Me, like, you, we watch each other, man. Don't worry about it, man. He's cool, man. I talked to UBTB personally on a phone conversation. Me and him personally, and I do follow him, and he, you know, he probably won't admit it, but we watch each other, man. I see a lot of things there that, you know, we've mentioned. Guys, remember, I've been here 8 years. Welcome to the channel, Leo. Welcome to the channel. So that the Egyptians' notion of their god Kem or Amnon, that's who they're talking about when they're saying Kem, Amnon, when thus worshipped by Osiris, was evidently a water vessel, or the Americans' god Khan, huh? Which was represented by them by a water vessel. Again, the Egyptian wrote the name of Osiris, son of the sun, by a red eye and pupil, with a long black line terminated in a spiral, like a watch spring, running from the under eyelid. The Americans represented their god Huracan, right? Hurricane. That's where you get the word hurricane from, guys. Huracan, Khan, priest king, or tempest, in a way which at once suggests that it is the root from which the Egyptian idea was derived. All right, that's where they got that from. Again, copying ancient America, because the Americans formed the very pupils of the eyes themselves by means of spirals, running from left to right in one eye and from right to left in the other. In the same way that we find actually occurs with the cyclones or hurricanes, which in the northern hemisphere rise in the Windward Islands, not far from Barbados, and travel inwards, forming a spiral in their course. You guys understand what they're saying? This is deep right here. You see what he's trying to, you see what he's correlating? That whole spiral. And Osiris, the eye, Huracan, a deity, Osiris, Huracan, the spiral, the hurricane, Windward Islands. They go into the Americas, right? Does Egypt, modern Egypt, get hurricanes, guys? Do they have volcanoes? Do they have hurricanes? No, right? No, right? Look at that. See the spiral? Forming a spiral in their course. Whilst in the southern hemisphere, they travel in a contrary direction, each having in the center of the spiral a calm spot called the eye of the storm. All right, the eye of the storm. What do they say about hurricanes, guys? It has an eye, right? Hurricanes have an eye, right? The eye of Osiris. You see the spiral? You see the correlation? This is things we never think about. This is things we never think about. He may be onto something, guys. He actually may be onto something. The eye of the storm, huh? The eye of Osiris, huh? So that the Americans represented their god of tempest with a physical peculiarity, which the Egyptians could not have arrived at from natural causes, because Egypt has no hurricanes. Has no hurricanes. You understand what they're telling you here, guys. Wake up. There's an origin to everything. In all their mythology of ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon and the Assyrians and all that, they don't have no origin for their mythology. We do. Why did you guys come up with this eye for because of the hurricane? You know, it has like an eye. And they still call it that today, right? The eye of the storm. Okay. I'm gonna a mullah, you gotta really catch up to the videos. I hate to always have to do this. I'm gonna pause real quick, guys, and I'm gonna show mullah something here, guys. I'm gonna show mullah something, okay? I'm gonna show mullah who the real Anubis is. Who the real Anubis is. Mullah, please pay attention. And when I show you this, I hope you see how much you're missing out on by not catching up on the older videos and all the research we've done, okay? Who is Shalot? Who is Shalot? Who is Shalot? Oh, look at what they what this little animal. Who is Shalot? Who is Shalot? Who is the real Anubis? Who is the real Anubis? If you don't know, mullah, we have a dog in the Americas that is native to the Americas only. It's a hairless dog. It's called the Xoloitzcuintli. It's the oldest dog domesticated in the world. Okay? Xolotl is the real Anubis. That's why Anubis looks like him. This dog does not exist over there. Okay? Pay attention. This dog does not exist over there. It's from the Americas. That is Anubis. That's how they represent Anubis. Okay? Xolotl animal, Anubis. I got a whole video on this. I got mad videos on this. There goes my video right here. That's my cover. People taking my stuff and using it for their own stuff. Right? That's actually from my video. Let me show you. Whatever this website is, iFunny. This is from my video. This is my thumbnail from my video. All right. So not picking on Mullah, but I'm trying to help him because a lot of people have the same questions and don't have the background and research we have. So we're going back. All right, we're going back just to help somebody understand. Now, if you go to YouTube, right, Mullah? Go to YouTube and you put Anubis, Xolotl maybe, and then put Kurimeo. Like, guys, any subject you're looking for, any subject that you want to see if I have, just put the subject and my name right next to it. See what happens. Okay? Well, here's one of them. Hunampu, Ampu, Anubis, Xolotl, Hermanubis. That's a whole. Look at this. This is 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
Codecademy presents the Conspiracy.
They hate it. They hate it.
Howdy.
Okay.
Instagram page out at Kurimeo and my Google Plus. I drop a lot of stuff there all the time. I wasn't going to drop this yet. It was part of the new series that I've been working on called Forbidden History, Forbidden Archaeology, America, the True Old World. But I thought it deserved its own video, you know? We actually found Anubis, the real Anubis, yeah, here in America. Yes, America. You know, they flipped everything on us. You know, there's many layers to the lies that we have to uncover, but we are doing it little by little. You know, you gotta break the spell. Break the spell. Find your true orientation, your true perspective. Foundational truth. Get that pure water. Let it in. Break the spell. Glad you're all here. Let's begin. Xolitzcuntli is the official name of the Mexican hairless dog, also known as Perro Pelón Mexicano in Mexican Spanish, a pre-Columbian canine breed from Mesoamerica dating back to over 3,500 years ago. This is one of the many native dog breeds in the Americas, and it is often confused with the Peruvian hairless dog. The dog
So get the drop. All right. We're not gonna watch this whole video. Go ahead and watch it, guys. Man, I got a lot of new people. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly why we don't I ain't getting no views. People don't really understand the deep information, the deep research we've done on this channel in the last 8 years. Like when I say guys, try to catch up on me, I really mean it, guys. Like I really, really mean it. You're not gonna regret it. You're not gonna regret it. Now, not only is Shalot the dog they're depicting, but Shalot was the deity of the underworld, just like Anubis. He carried the soul. He helped the souls on the afterlife, just like Anubis. They buried their dogs with their kings, just like over there. They copied us. They copied us. They just copied us and put everything on that side of the world. What are we reading today? Literally, the title of the article from 1868 is telling us that America is really the old world and that over there is really the new world. You guys got to orientate yourselves. When you say ancient Egypt, don't think over there. That was over here. Don't think I'm saying, oh, we went over there and created Egypt. No, that was over here. Over there, what we see over there, those three pyramids, that's a theme park. That's recent. They probably built that in the 1700s and 1800s. Shout out to UBTB. Again, he showed them building it. He has these old photos of them building literally ruins. They build it to look like ruins. And that is cement. That's not megalithic. Those are cement blocks. Yeah. No, it's a lot. Yeah, I get it, man. Like, I know a lot of you, just got into the info, and I'm so happy that you finally care about real history. And I'm so happy you guys made it to my channel. And again, hopefully you guys can catch up, just like how you binge watch TV series and Netflix shows and whatever else shows you watch. Take the time, guys. You don't even have to be watching. You can watch my or hear my videos while you work, while you clean your car, while you clean your house, while you're exercising, while you're doing whatever. Because I'm reading for you. I'm literally reading the whole thing for you. I'm breaking it down little by little. Each video is connected. Don't just choose the ones you think you're interested in. They're all connected. Help me get more traffic, guys. I should have way more subscribers. I should have way more people in this live, but yet people are more interested in other people debating, having these master teachers on their show, just talking nonsense. We show history every time, guys. Every time. Let me know the truth. Let me know the truth. Who ever heard of this article I'm reading today? Who knew about this article I'm reading today? And who else has shown you this? This is the type of stuff I've been showing for the last 8 years, and I keep finding new things, proving and corroborating what we already know. America's a true old world. So I hope that all you new people understand. We're not being biased. We're just correcting history. We're not generalizing. This is the truth. Truth is truth. Hey, Ambush Predator, man, thank you for the donations, man. I see them all, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. And fire. Thank you. Thank you. Classo Kamati. Bringing the crown loads. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. So we were talking about just like Le Plongeon, right? Just like Augustus Le Plongeon. If you don't know who that is, you got to catch up. Just like Augustus Le Plongeon was saying that there's an origin to all the mythology here in the Americas for the prehistoric traditions of the old world. It's all here, the origin of everything. And as you guys can see, where do they get the Eye of Horus? Man, this is deep right now. This is deep right here. Think about the eye of the storm, a spiral, right? Hurricanes. I was a deity too here. Huracan. They don't have hurricanes over there, guys. And remember, Thoth. Thoth is from Atlantis / America. And if you're new and you don't know that, all of Atlantis did not sink, guys. We're still here. This is part of Atlantis. The Americas was Atlantis. That's how the Masons knew America, as Atlantis. We read the books. We read their own books. We got it from the horse's mouth themselves. Right? Thoth came from a place that had volcanoes. It's in the Book of the Dead. But people don't care about this stuff. Pan-Africans, all these people, they don't care to read these details, to ask these questions like, wait a minute, there's no volcanoes over there. Thoth came from a place that had volcanoes. The Lake of Fire is literally the volcano, the lava flowing in the water in the lake. Tenochtitlan, the capital of Mexico, was built on a giant lake. That is the original Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan. Let's go to it real quick, guys. Since we're live, we're doing this for the new people, right? Tenochtitlan. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There we go. I want to show you what is in the name Tenochtitlan. What does it say right here, guys? The blue highlighted part. We're going to have participants on the chat. What does it say right there? The part I highlighted. What does it say? Come on. You guys see that, right? Tenochtitlan, literally the place of Enoch. The land of Enoch. Enoch. Who's Enoch? Who is Enoch? Yeah. Who is Thoth? Who is Thoth, huh? You guys got to watch my Thoth videos. Those are really deep. My old Thoth videos, those are really deep. Yeah. Tenochtitlan, the land. Titlan, the land of Enoch. Enoch. This is what it looked like. Built on a lake with 2 volcanoes, just like Thoth described he was coming from. A city in a lake with 2 volcanoes. Literally what Thoth wrote in the Book of the Dead. The oldest god of the Egyptians, the highest god is Thoth. It's not Osiris, it's Thoth. The ancient of ancients, as they call him in the old world. Hermes, as they call him in Greek. Hermes Trismegistus / Enoch, okay? Oh, why are you saying that? I thought Enoch was good. I thought Enoch was bad. There's 2 Enochs in the Bible if you didn't know. Cain had a son. His first son was Enoch, and he named a city after him. It's in Genesis 4. Go read it. Literally. And what is this city called? The land of Enoch. Just like Cain named the land after his son Enoch. Okay? Go back. I hate to be going off topic, but it is in topic, all right? I like when we have new people asking questions, you know? And when they're legitimately asking questions and not trying to question me. That's 2 different things. So a lot of people come here and say, well, I was just asking a question. No, you weren't. You're trying to question me because you don't want to believe it. I can tell the difference. So he broke down where they get in the whole Osiris symbol from, guys. I hope you paid attention to that. The eye of the storm, so that Americans represented their god of tempest with a physical peculiarity, which the Egyptians could not have arrived at from natural causes, because Egypt has no hurricanes. Man. Guys, if you don't know, there's hurricanes in the Pacific. They're called typhoons. They're called typhoons. There's hurricanes in the Pacific. And so what? It starts in West Africa. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? Are we going with that slave Pan-African? Oh, we're just punishing because the slaves got grabbed from there. So hurricane. Come on now, guys. Come on. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. That makes no difference. So upon the supposition that Egyptians came from America, the remarkable passage, listen, so again, this is what he's saying. So remember, ancient Egypt or ancient Egyptians were from here, are Americans. So we got Dash the Hijack with that, seeing it in reverse. They're always saying we they either came here or we went over there, not understanding that this is the true old world. So upon the supposition that the Egyptians came from America, remember this was written in 1868, that remarkable passage in Herodotus concerning their antiquity and the peculiar appearance of the sun may be accounted for. Okay, he's about to quote probably something we already read. If you guys don't know, Herodotus clearly stated that the ancestors of the so-called Egyptians came from a distant land in the west, where the first humans are from. He literally said that. We've shown the quotes. We've shown him in the writings where he's saying that. Herodotus says, thus much of the account of the Egyptians and the priests related, showing that from the first king to this priest of Vulcan. Look at that. You guys know what Vulcan is? Volcano, Vulcan, volcano. There's no volcanoes in modern Egypt. We got plenty of volcanoes here. We got 8 alone in Costa Rica. Like they're like only 2 or 3 that are active, but you know, this is mad volcanoes here, guys, and all over the Pacific actually. Right? So thus, listen to what Herodotus is saying. Herodotus is using the word Vulcan. That's an American word. Thus much of the account of the Egyptians and the priests related, showing that from the first king to this priest of Vulcan, who last reigned, first king, were 341 generations of men. And during these generations, there were the same number of chief priests and kings, okay? That's what Khan means, right? Khan means priest king. You know how they try to make fun of people, like racist people? They try to say, oh, we the Khans. Oh, yeah, we the priest kings for sure. We are the priest kings. American, Khan, American, Americans. Ameru is dragon. Ameru means dragon, the Andean dragon, the plum serpent, feather serpent, the Nagas, right? Supposedly snake people. We're not talking about reptilians, guys. Dodge the hijacker, break the spell. That's what they try to tell you. They try to make everything into aliens and stuff, so you wouldn't know your true self. We had a Khan dynasty here. We had a Khan. Let's see if it comes up. Let me just show you. This is, we're freestyling right now. Khan Dynasty, Maya. National Geographic, right? Who were the Maya? Let me see if it comes up. Wotan. We just talked about Wotan yesterday. Wotan. Oh, Pakal. Yeah, Pakal Wotan. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Look at this mural. This is painted by the Mayas themselves. This was painted by the Mayas themselves on their walls. You see the complexion of the ancient Maya? Do you understand? When we're talking about ancient Egyptians and the true old world. Not giving me. It's not giving me. Maybe if I put Snake Kings. There you go. I ain't making this up. Okay, hold on. Reject all. We actually showed this documentary right here. What they are finding in the jungles of Guatemala and Mexico, all over the Americas, guys. They said it's gonna take 100 years just to bring this out to the public. 60,000 plus temples, pyramids that they haven't even filmed or showed us yet. They're finding under the jungle. They didn't think there was actually people living in the jungle. Millions of people, and they are finding that. The lost treasures of the Maya snake kings. You see here on the left, Snake Khan dynasty. Okay. Let's see what photos they got here. They're finding all this stuff under the jungle, guys, with their lighter technology. All right, you see the complexion? See that? Okay. This is a great documentary. Again, catch up on the old videos. We showed a lot of parts of it, okay? Catch up on the old videos, guys. Khan, the snake dynasty, Khan, priest kings. Now, 300 generations are equal to 10,000 years. You guys hear that? 10,000 years? Herodotus, see how far Herodotus says, you know? Hey, ambush predator, much love. Wu-Tang. Oh, I'm a little disappointed at one of their members, so I don't bring them up, but thank you for the donation. Because they disrespected me when I went on their show. I'm talking about Killer Priest. Killer Priest ambushed me and disrespected me so much. And he still hasn't apologized. And he said he was. He's been telling me he was for like years, just to try to get me back on his show. And then eventually I was like, man, stop bullshitting me, man. Don't worry about an apology, man. Just leave me alone. All right. So he's saying 300 generations equals 10,000 years. That's how far supposedly Herodotus is saying we go back. The ancient so-called Egyptians, he said they came from a distant Western land. Thus they said in 11,340 years, no God had assumed the form of man. Neither had any such thing happened before or afterwards in the time of the remaining kings of Egypt. During this time, the sun had 4 times risen out of his usual quarter, and had twice risen where he now sets, and twice set where he now rises. All right, they're talking about the precession of the equinoxes. So every 2,160 years, to be exact, the sun rises behind or in front of a constellation. It's the clock. It's going in a circle. So all these constellations are different ages, and we are now in the Aquarius age. We are coming out of the Pisces age. Those are 2,160 years altogether. When it goes completely around, it's 26,000 years to make a whole cycle of the precision of the equinoxes. Shout out to Graham Hancock for teaching me that back in 2000. Back in 2000, when I read his book, Fingerprints of the Gods. Yet no change in the things of Egypt was occasioned, either with regard to diseases or to deaths. If the Egyptians or solar people were first developed in the Americas, the glorious East, listen, the real East, this is what I'm saying, the farthest East, guys, was here. The real, so if you're in Asia, right, if you keep going east, where do you end up? In the Americas, right? In the Americas, right? That's the farthest east. That's where Marco Polo went. You know, they haven't found where Marco Polo went and where he wrote about when he went to visit the Grand Khan Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, Grand Khan, the Grand Khan, the Grand Priest King. Who's the Khans? That's what Columbus came to look for. He came to look for the Grand Khan, the Priest King, the Prester, King David, and the line of King David, the King of Kings. King Dawid is Prester John, is the Grand Khan. And then his nephew or family member, or, you know, kind of took over, possibly Genghis Khan. Huh? How is he a Khan? Then we got Tartaria, right? So-called Tartaria. And everybody want to just say, oh, it's Tartaria, Tartaria, not understanding full context. That kingdom was taken from Khan Dawid, man. The Prester John, so-called, aka Prester John. Shout out to Drop. Shout out to Khan Drop, 432 The Drop Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you're following him too. 432 The Drop Radio. So glorious East. This is the glorious East. This is the biblical East. This is the biblical lands. Exactly, Martin. Martin said it took serious time or math to identify a 26,000 cycle of the grand processions. Exactly. It took that much years to observe that alone. It has to. You got to observe that. That's what science is. Astronomy, observation, calculating time. Most High did say that he put the solar things there for us to make time, to tell time. These are signs for you. Eclipses, all that. These are marks in time. Columbus was actually from the East Coast. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? That's not true. Columbus' real name, guys, and I have a video on this. His real name is Salvador Fernandes Sarco. That's his real name. And he was a Portuguese Sephardic Jew, a black man. Sephardic Jew, a black man. So-called Columbus. That was his trademark name. That was his like corporate trademark trading name. Columbus was his emblem. Christopher means the Christ bearer. That was a title. That's not his real name. You guys understand? Oh, we're going over Mad Drop today. I hope you taking notes. And again, we got videos on all this. I'm saying signs of the time. Exactly. What is time? Does time make you, or do you make time? Exactly, Noah. Female Noah. Shout out to female Noah. So, America is the glorious East, guys. This is the true East. Flip the maps around. They flip the maps on us. They flip the maps on us. They flip the map on us. Christ is a Greek word. Christ, guys, if you're wondering why I go off topic and I'm talking about things that are not, it's because I'm talking to the live chat if you saw this video later on. So next time, maybe you want to interact, come to the live chat so you can interact with me and we can interact with the rest of everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the live chat, okay? Thank you for being here during the live. Thank you for being on point. Anyways, yeah, Christ, that's a Greek word. Like anointed, right? We don't deal with the religion stuff here. Most High over everything, the Great Spirit. Wow, just breathe. So, if the Egyptians or solar people were first developed in the Americans' glorious East, which was in the neighborhood of Honduras, Central America, and passed over the Tropic of Cancer to the neighborhood of the River Colorado. Wow. And they learned to build the pyramid. They would have had the sun once on their right hand and once on their left. And if again they were driven back to the east, in parentheses, remember in Hebrew, east means forward. So in Hebrew, when we talk about north, east, west, south, it means totally different things than what they teach us today. Again, shout out to UBTB for that breakdown. Yeah, I watch other people and learn from others. I don't, I hope he watches me, but I can't, can't force people, right? Like, but I learn from others. Much love, Ambush Predator. Much love, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. And so if again they were driven back to the east and became scattered, who got scattered? Who got scattered in the Bible, guys? Who really got scattered out of Egypt? Some going to the Nile. These last, or the Egyptians, would then have had the sun once again upon their left hand and once again upon their right, or the sun would have been twice upon their left hand and twice upon their right during their history. This theory may also account for the Egyptians' knowledge of that tropical plant, the palm. Okay, guys, what is the symbol of Egypt? I broke this down in my old thought videos. They have a palm tree. We have plenty of palms here, but not just that. They have a bird on top of it. They have a bird on top of the palm tree. That's one of the symbols of Egypt. That's literally taken from the Maya people. They have the exact same thing, and there's an origin to that. There's an origin. We broke this down in old videos. The palm. So, the Egyptians' knowledge of that tropical plant, the palm, which he shows an early knowledge of by employing it in connection with a ring and a frog in his hieroglyphic of man and embryo. For in this hieroglyphic, from the back of the frog springs a palm branch. Humboldt says, as concerns palms, Africa, which contrary to the ancient and still extremely diffused opinion, is poor in species of palms. Listen, pay attention. Yeah, they got palms over there, but it's not as abundant as in other places. It's poor in species of palms. Exhibits only one palm, Hyphani coriacea, which advances south of the equator, only as far as Port Natal in 30 degrees latitude. Palms, bananas, and arborescent ferns constitute three forms of especially beauty to every portion of the tropical zone. Wherever heat and moisture cooperate, vegetation is most exuberant. And vegetable forms present the greatest diversity. Hence, South America is the most beautiful portion of the palm world. Again, listen, pay attention. Hence, South America is the most beautiful portion of the palm world. They try to say bananas originated in Asia. They try to say we didn't have palms here, guys, because then that would prove certain things about the old world being here if they were to admit that. So they try to create these crazy things like, but there was already palms here before Europeans came, so make it make sense. Make it make sense, man. Like Costa Rica alone produces so much bananas to the world. A lot of your bananas in the States come from Costa Rica. Chiquita, banana, Dole, all that. All that. Okay, wait. So what is it saying? So in Asia, the palm form is rare. In Asia, the palm form is rare. In consequence, perhaps, of considerable part of the Indian continent beneath the equator having been destroyed and covered by the ocean in some earlier revolution of our planet. Okay, let's see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna listen to this real quick.
Now listen to this part. Of 640 food crops grown in Africa today,
almost 600 of them originated in the Americas. Again, of 640 food crops grown in Africa today, almost 600 of them originated in the Americas. So you're saying only 40 of them did not? So 600 of their food crops are American of origin. So what does that tell you? Who is older? Where did it originate? All right, so who was growing food first? These kind of plants. Who domesticated all these plants first? That means who was doing agriculture first. That means who created the first civilizations. All right, all correlating, right? It says the manioc, tapioca, also of American origin, is today a staple for 200 million people in the tropics. Again, now listen to this part. Of 640.
Okay. Okay. So in Africa, 640 food crops, right? Out of those 640, 600 of them are American plants. They're American. What does that tell you? Where's the abundance and resources coming from, really? Now we're going to address La Media Magic, the guy. All right, guy. All right, guy. My name is Kurimeo. Don't call me guy, all right? Don't come here disrespect with your hurt feelings, right? All right? You're talking about Tamari. Man, you mad late, bro. You mad late, man. You mad late. Look at this video. Part 3, the true origin of the name
Dale
America.
a tu negocio la mejor dirección en internet con GoDaddy. Elige entre cientos de dominios.
See, y'all always come here with y'all hurt feelings. Y'all always come here with y'all hurt feelings, right? Look at the title of this. Look at the title of this video. The true origin of the name America. Tamaricans, Tamari. Yeah, Tamari was here. Pay attention. Ameri. Add a CA after that. America. Tamarica. Tamarica. Let me show you what the Book of the Dead says. Okay? Egyptian hieroglyphics. Dictionary. All right? This is what I'm saying. You come 8 years late to my channel like you're trying to teach somebody something. Like you're trying to correct. You're mad late, bro. Don't get embarrassed. Why don't you just be humble and listen? Catch up. Okay? Humbleness. Humbleness. Tamari. Tameru. Ameru. 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 Amaru, right? Tupac Amaru. Amaru, that's a American word. Ameru, Tamaru, people of the land of the Nile. For example, the Egyptians. Example, the Egyptians. Tamaru. Y'all want to come to my channel and try to correct somebody. Y'all want to come to my channel and try to correct somebody, man. Like, why don't y'all catch up, man? Mera, right? America, Amera, Patamera, an ancient name of Egypt. Patamera, Amera, the land of Mera, Amera, America. Yeah, have some humility, man. And welcome. I hope you're here to learn and not just try to question me and try to correct me like you're correcting me. You're not even correcting me. You make no sense. What is your point? I'm going to read his comment, guys. I'm going to read his comment. Right? It says, he says, La Media Magic says, Egypt was not Egypt or Mizraim, guy. Again, my name is not Guy. It's Kurimeo. Get it correct. Don't come here calling me no guy. They never called your king Pharaoh. Who's talking about that? You're off topic. And we already broke down what Pharaoh means. We broke down the etymology and how it relates to America. So you mad late. They called it Tamari. Duh. I got videos of this from 6 years ago. 93,000 views. But you missed it, huh? You must have missed that one. 6 years ago. You're trying to come here 6 years later, try to tell me something we already know. Us, not just me. We already know. Any empire could have been identified with Egypt. Any empire. Man, you're babbling. You're straight babbling. We are being specific. We are being, if you don't see how Tamari literally has Ameri in it, America, Tamarica, Ameri, like you not even know, you don't even realize when you're not making sense. No, you're not trying to make things, no, you're trying to correct me, man. All right, so now just sit down and listen. All right, because you didn't say anything that we don't know, and you're not making any sense. And what is your point? Because I know you had a point. You just don't want us to say this was ancient Egypt here. You don't like that. You have a problem with that. I can tell. Tameru, Ameru, Ameru. Okay? Sit back and learn, man. You might be a wise person. See, fools love airing out their opinion. This is a proverb in the Bible. Fools love airing out their opinions, but wise people listen. That's what I did for years. I'm 42. That's what I did for years. Actually, I'm 43. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think I'm 43. But I stopped counting a long time ago. I stopped counting when I was like 22. Anyways, that's what I did for years. Listen, learn, verify, then do my own research. Research the research. Shout out to Olmec 12. So don't come here thinking I'm just trying to be biased and I'm just talking out my butthole. He said, sorry, I believe the whole thing. This is not about belief. You're still talking, you're not understanding. We're not into beliefs here. Beliefs is out of Africa theories. That's a belief. That's a belief. Out of Africa theories, that's a belief. We try to know things here now. This is what the book is trying to say. Oh, I believe this the symbol of Osiris was from. No, we know now what it means. They got it from the hurricane and the eye of the storm. We've actually read this before. I think Le Plongeon broke that down too. Okay? So I'm not going to go back and forth with you, man. So don't worry about what you, don't try to, you already said what you said. It's too late. You already said what you said. It's too late, man. All right? You ain't going to go back now. We're going to go back to the lesson. Palm. Why did I go show you guys that? About the food crops? We feed the world. And not only that, we got the most gold, silver, metals and all that. It's not anywhere else. They try to tell you, oh, it's over there. Now that's all. That's not true. We've shown the sources. We've shown the science. We've shown it. Yeah. Hey guys, if you're late, you missed a lot of good drop. Make sure to watch from the beginning. Make sure to watch from the beginning if you just got here, trust me. Or at least watch it, you know, when we're done. At least go back to it when we're done if you don't want to go back to the beginning right now. He said, I just don't think it's a valid, what, man? Bro, okay. So, we were talking about the palms, right? That's one of the ancient symbols of Egypt. Right, let me see if I can find that so you guys can see. This is all of my thought video. Palm, symbol, ancient Egypt. Let me see. They ain't trying to give it to me. Check out my thought videos for this. Check out my thought videos for that. So the palm is very abundant here in the Americas. We have many different species of the palm, not just one, not just a couple. That's what he's trying to get to. He's saying in Asia is very rare. In consequence, perhaps a considerable part of the Indian continent beneath the equator having been destroyed and covered by the ocean in some earlier revolution of our planet. Yeah, there's a lot of land that went down, not just in the Atlantic. How did the Egyptians know of bronze? How did they know about bronze? Hey guys, I know you've been following me for a while. Who's hardcore followers? How did they make bronze? Where did they get the metal to make the Bronze Age? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Let me show you how informed we are over here. Come on, guys, prove it to me. Proof that I'm not making this up. I know you guys are informed. Where did they get the metal to create the so-called Bronze Age? Remember, let them know, guys. Help me out. Let them know. I want to see who's been paying attention. Where did they get all that metal to create the Bronze Age? Michigan, thank you. Not just Michigan, but the Americas. Yes, copper, copper, copper. The Michigan copper, 500,000 tons of copper are missing from ancient mines in Michigan. Talking about ancient mines. Where did it all go? That's how they made their bronze. That's how they made their bronze. Yes, thank you guys. You see how much we're informed here? For those who are new, that's how much you would be informed if you actually watched my channel the last couple, like all these years. Like people that actually been following me for a long time, they can be professors of history, PhDs and all that. Way more knowledge than any professor of the bullshit mainstream history, of the fake history. Michigan has the purest copper. America has the purest copper in the world. And they found this Michigan copper in these so-called Egyptian and Minoan ships, so-called Minoan ships that are in the Mediterranean under the water. They found Michigan copper in these ships. They didn't tell you that in school, did they? They didn't tell you all that in school, huh? America's a true old world. This is not about one thing to use to try to prove something. Man, you mad late, man. How did the Egyptians know of bronze? How do you think? Because the so-called ancient Egyptians were from here, mining that. The purest copper to create bronze. He could not have discovered how to make it until the Phoenicians had brought him tin from Cornwall or Banca from where? From the British Isles. Tin. Who's the Phoenicians? Seafarers. That's what Phoenician means, seafaring people. Phoenicians, so-called Phoenicians, came out of the true Holy Land, the true East, the glorious East we just went over earlier. Phoenicians included many different nations. It was a select few people of seafaring people. It was like a secret society. Shout out to archivists for that breakdown. Yep. A lot of copper here, a lot of metal here. So the Phoenicians had brought it to the so-called, see, this is with them going with the whole, oh, ancient Egypt was over there, Phoenicians were from over there, you know, they're seeing it in reverse. But we know the true context behind this. Don't think Phoenicians means what they tell you though, and Wikipedia though. You gotta empty your cup with that. You gotta empty your cup with that. A lot of Phoenicians were Danites. A lot of Phoenicians were Israelites, Hebrews, you know, and other peoples. So-called Phoenicians. These are seafaring people, seafarers. Who's the Carians? Who's the Caribs? The Caribs are seafarers. We just did a video yesterday, right? About how we were seafaring, right? Didn't we just do a video yesterday about how ancient Americans were seafaring, going over to Europe? Who discovered Europe again? The American discovery of Europe. We just read this book yesterday. The strongest current goes from here to that side of the world, the Gulf Stream. It's 4 times harder to come back the other way. It's a lot easier to go that way. This is logical things people don't think of, Pan-Africans. So the Phoenicians supposedly brought it to them, right? From Cornwall or Banca, unless he brought the art from Peru. Eru, Heru, Peru, Jerusalem, Eru, Peru, Heru. And just some such highly tempered material he must have had from the earliest time of his existence on the banks of the Nile. Okay, Nile. What does Nile mean? Nile's another Greek word. So they got a bunch of Greek words over there. Nobody really asks why. They got a bunch of Greek words over there. Nile means great river. Nile means great river. Nile means great river. Let me show you guys something, you know, since we're live. Let's see if I can pull this up. Mississippi. I'm trying to look for a map here of the river. I'm gonna show you some. if I can pull it up, guys. There we go. Well, this is one. This is one kind of image. Okay. It's just an example. I have better ones, but in the Bible, it says that the Nile or the river of Egypt has 7 tributaries, 7 major tributaries that feed in. See, the fake Nile that they call the Nile today doesn't have any tributaries or great tributaries. It doesn't have any tributaries. The Mississippi in the Americas does have, actually, it literally has 7 tributaries. They don't show them all right here. I have a better map. It literally has 7 tributaries that feed into it. And if you don't know, right, check this out. Let me see this. We're doing this on the go. We're doing this on the go, right? You guys can see. Mississippi River, right? Mississippi, huh? Let's go to the etymology of Mississippi. The word Mississippi itself comes from Mississippi, the French rendering of the Anishinaabe Ojibwe Algonquin name for the river. Mississippi, Great River. Great River. The Great River. The Great River. The Great River. Literally what Mississippi means, the Great River. Great River, right? Nile. Nile. Let's go to Nile River real quick. Let's go to Nile. Let's go to etymology. Let's see if they'll give it. In the ancient Egyptian language, the Nile is called Hipsi, right? Meaning river. All right. So, because it's a Greek word, it means the river or the canal. Great. It's not even a river. You guys don't even know that that Nile over there got drenched. What is it called? Drenched, meaning it got dug up. They actually made that a river. It's not an original great river. They dug it up. They know this. The Great Canal, or the Great Water, or Great River in ancient Greek. The Great River. That's what it's supposed to mean in Nile. Great River. But the original Great River is the Mississippi. Mississippi. Great River. Great River. Yeah, we know Egypt's a Greek word. We broke that down earlier. Yep. Okay, when we're talking about Nile and all that, don't picture over there. Don't picture that river they dug out. They literally dug that out. The Suez Canal is man-made. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain, guys. Like, they man-made a lot of those over there. Dredged. There you go, Martin. Thank you. They got dredged. The Nile over there in Egypt and fake Egypt, they got dredged. Literally, they created a canal. Literally. It's not ancient, guys. The Mississippi is natural. The Mississippi's natural. Original. Great river. Meaning great river. Old man river. Father of the waters. Huh? Father of the waters? Didn't it just tell us there? The Great Water, Nile, Mississippi, Old Man River, Father of the Waters, Great River, Great River. You think we're going off of one thing? You think we're just going off to marry? Oh, man. You think we're just using a word to try to prove this is ancient Egypt? Man, you mad late. You mad late, man. Catch up. Catch up. Oh, we're learning so much today. So I like reading these articles because we get to go back. You know, I was going to pre-record this and just upload it today, but I wanted to actually talk a little bit too. Okay, so we're doing this live. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you appreciate what I'm doing. So let's go back. So on the banks of the Nile. So where did they get all this metal? They probably got it from Peru, he says, and just some such highly tempered material he must have had from the earliest time of his existence on the banks of the Nile, on the banks of the Mississippi. Yeah, the delta, floods, fertile, rich black fertile soil. Yeah, very fertile. Or he could have carved his granite into lions, sphinxes, obelisks, columns. Okay. The Phoenician might have brought him tools ready-made. Might have. See, this is when they start conjecturing. Oh, maybe they got it from, that was all right here. Phoenicians, Soko-Egyptians, all that. The true old world. If in navigating beyond the pillars of Hercules, he visited the glorious East of the Americans, the real East, in the Gulf of Honduras. Oh, Gulf of Honduras. Trump want to call it Gulf of America. Otherwise, it seems that the Egyptian must have brought his knowledge of bronze directly from America. Again, where did they get their knowledge of bronze, or literally bronze itself? From America. This was written in 1868, but nobody ever told us. We're in the neighborhood of the sacred lake Titicaca. Not only were bronze implements found, okay, on the discovery of the country, but copper and tin exist. So that the art of bronze making might have originated on that spot, okay? Well, we know the mound builders had all that too. So it's not just there. But Titicaca is very ancient, guys. Titicaca is raised so high. You heard it earlier, right? 14,000 feet in the air. They believe that that lake actually was leveled, almost sea level in ancient times. That's how old those buildings are probably. That's how old Titicaca and Tiwanaku is. Tiwanaku and Peru and Bolivia. Bolivia, actually, yeah. Either way, it's originating in America. Originating in the Americas. One more example will suffice in support of the hypothesis that the Egyptians was a colonist from America. How many more people are we going to read from that were saying the same thing all these years? Nobody ever told us, right? Oh, Kurimeo, he's biased. All he says is America's a true old world. He don't know anything. Africa, Mama Africa's the mother of everything. Mama Africa. That's mama, but we got grandma. Get it correct. We got grandma. You want to call her mama, then we got grandma. Grandma and grandpa. The great grandfathers. Wow. The framer and the shaper. One more example will suffice in support of the hypothesis the Egyptian was a colonist from America. From America to marry. There is a very common yet conventional ornament frequently to be met with on the handles of Peruvian water vessels. A bird's head attached to a figure like a comma as a body. You see that? Like a comma. Man, they're showing you literally that Egypt copied it. Look at it. Look, guys. They have the same exact glyph. They just flipped it. We find the same identical figure employed upon the portico of a temple at Tyrus in Upper Egypt. Yeah, just because you're finding walls with these things doesn't mean those things happen or originated there. They're just retelling a story. Literally, the hieroglyphics over there are just retelling the story of the true old world. It was like a college. People used to go there to learn and read the walls. But they were reading about the true old world, where their ancestors came from. Literally got the same symbol. Same hieroglyphic, guys. Look at that. It is easy to account for the Peruvians employing such a symbol because, as Humboldt tells us, the Mexicans had a tradition which explains it, okay? So, see, when you go to ancient over there, Egypt, that yeah, you find all this stuff over there, but there's no origin to it. It just came out of nowhere. They can't tell you why did they draw that? Why they depicting that? But when you come to the Americas, there's an origin to these symbols. There's an origin to these symbols. It is easy to account for the Peruvians employing such a symbol because, as Humboldt tells us, the Mexicans had a tradition which explains it. The tradition is concerning a flood. A flood when one man and one woman were saved. When one man and one woman was saved. These had children, but they were born dumb. Then a bird from a tree gave them tongues to speak. And these tongues, Humboldt says, are always represented like commas. Wow. You guys see? We can understand the American employing a bird's head with a comma as an emblem alluding to that event. But how explain the Egyptians' knowledge of such a conventional symbol? Unless he learned it. Unless he learned it, he copied it, right? In that country where the myth called it into existence. Unless he got it from the Americas. Unless he got it from the Americas. He got it from the Americas. Wow, I wonder if this guy ever met Augustus Leplejon. They would have made a pretty good team. They would have made a pretty good team. For it is obviously impossible that so conventional a symbol as this is should be invented by two separate people. All right? They didn't just make it up, and we didn't just make it up just because. Somebody copied somebody. There's an original one, and then there's a duplicate. That's how it's been. That's what we've been trying to show this whole time. All that stuff over there in the hieroglyphs is duplicate stories. Duplicated stories. Yeah, the land, to marry beloved land. We know, beloved land. The beloved land, the ancient land of the ancestors. Hey, Joseph, much love, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. They copied it. So how could two separate people of races represent an idea derived by each of them from nature? Either one people learned the symbol from the other, or both learned it from a common source. From a common source. But no such common source is to be found. And the question is therefore reduced to this simple form. Did Egypt learn from America? Did America civilize the world? Yeah. Or America from Egypt? Egypt is a Greek word. No, so they didn't learn it from no Greek word. And to marry, ancient Egypt was here. So yeah, they learned it from themselves. Yeah, they learned it from here. It came from here. Exactly. They got everything blocked here, but you can go over there and be a tourist, right? And so, because that's part of the hijack. That's part of the hijack. They make you go all the way over there. Like, people rather go to over there, and they don't even go visit the pyramids here in the Americas of their ancestors. Make it make sense. Hey, Emmanuel Jeter, appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. You're very welcome. Thank you, man. I am led to the conclusion that Egypt learned from America. Again, all right? Body bag for the illusion. Yo, shout out to Drop, man. Shout out to Drop, man. Con Drop, man. Shout out to Con Drop, man. You guys don't know, I got Hawa. I got that from him because it's just, it's lovely. It's music to my ears. And I appreciate what I learned from him and what I learned from others. And we give a lot of love back. Shout out to Joseph Rosales. Yo, shout out to you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for that, man. So he has led to the conclusion that Egypt, or over there in that part of the world, learned from America. Because I find that in many cases, such conventional symbols as I have been treating of, were used in America in connection with myths, which explains them, while the same symbol were used in Egypt without the myths, and that therefore the ideas were more perfect and more rational in America than in Egypt. More rational, more ideological, makes more sense than what they say over there. It's just a legacy. It just came out of nowhere. They can't explain it. It's just mythology, not real history. But when you come here, it's the real origin and real history. Okay? Okay? Look at that. So that was just on Egypt. Now we're going to go into Babylonian Phoenicia, so-called Babylon. Babylon, it wasn't like a place. That's what they kind of generalized, call an empire, the Babylonian Empire, but that includes the Syrians, that includes like so many different people, right? And remember what Phoenicia means. Phoenicians, seafarers. We know that the Babylonians came from the east. What east? There you go. I'm loving this author, man. What east? You just said this is the glorious east, right? This is the farthest east. So what east? What is a so-called Babylonian? That's not a country or a person. That's a term. Babel, right? Babel. That they built the Tower of Babel. Really? Where's the true Tower of Babel, right? Not as the American did his Great Pyramid of Cholula in North America. The Pyramid Cholula, guys, we got videos on all this. It's a replication of the, it's a literal exact copy of the Tower of Belus. Literally how the Tower of Belus is described to be built like, which they haven't found over there. They haven't found the Tower of Belus or any of these places they say existed on that side of the world. The Pyramid of Cholula, guys, one of the biggest pyramids in the world, bigger in base than any of the pyramids over there in Africa, is a literal copy of how the Tower of Belus is described. And Humboldt proved it in the 1700s. He went, he measured it, he described it. He's like, look, this matches this matches that, this matches this. It's the exact copy of the Tower of Belus. Or Jupiter. Literally, that's the same as the Temple of Jupiter or the Temple of Belus. So, that they built the Tower of Babel not as the American did his Great Pyramid of Cholula in North America, to record the event of one of the giants with 7 others having been saved from a flood, but to make a name. And literally the legend of the Pyramid of Cholula is about, building a tower, to save them from another flood, all that. Let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. That's from the legends of the Toltecs. He's quoting the Toltecs, guys, not the Bible. He's quoting the Toltecs. Their fear would appear to have been the being scattered abroad, as if they had already suffered from such circumstance. They had an experience of that to their journey from the east and their finding a plain in the land of Shinar. The land of Shinar, huh? The land of Shinar. Go back. Okay, first, Cholula, Kurimeo, right? Look at that. 6 years ago, Untold Ancient American Truth, Part 3, Pyramid of Cholula, the Tower of Babel, Belus. Not the original, because that's up in Canada. Shout out to UBTB. Mount Babel. Where's Mount Babel? I mean, since we're live, let's just do it, guys. Mount Babel, Canada. Let's see if it comes up. Mount Babel. Mount Babel. Hold on. Let me go to the map. Let me show you how this looks. Back up. Oh, that's the one in Alberta. Hold on. We got another one. Check this out. You see this ring? You see the circle right here? You guys see that? Again, check out UBTV. There's a Mount Babel in here too. There's a Mount Babel in here. Look at this perfect circle, guys. Yeah, we got another tremor. We had a tremor earlier, guys. Right now, we have a little earthquake. But these are like very tiny tremors that we get sometimes. Like as I speak right now. Yeah, too much knowledge being dropped. Too much knowledge being dropped right now. Too much knowledge. So, ile rene levasseur. Hold on. Ile rene le. Hold on. Levasseur. The island. They call it an island. Okay, there we go. You thought I was making it up, huh? Mount Babel, Quebec is the highest peak of the René Levasseur Island. It lies within the Lewis Babel Ecological Reserve. Babel, Mount Babel. They try to say they named it after somebody. Yeah. What is near here? What is near here? Acadia, right? Let me show you. Hold on. Hold on. We gotta get this here. Mount Babel, Quebec. Let me see if we can get that. Mount Babel, Canada, Quebec. Here we go. Okay. Directions. Acadia. Acadia. Yeah, go to it. Go to it. Or walking, whatever. Show me, man. Oh, they don't want to get. Why don't they? That's my up. What's up? Come on, show. They're not trying to give me the distance. You guys know where Acadia is, though, right? Let's go to Acadia. Hold up. Let's go to Acadia. All right. Not too far. Acadia is like all this stuff. Not too far from this, right? Not too far. Acadia or Acadians. Akkadian Empire. Akkadian Empire. Acadia. Akkadian Empire. When we talking about Babylon, Sumerian, right? And they just mentioned Shinar or Summer. Shinar, right? Summer. Shinar. Shinar, right? Check this out. Shinar. I just dropped a little video there. Look at this. Shinar, Samaria in Europe. That's from the book we read. Ireland or Ur of the Chaldees. Chaldea, ancient Chaldea was in Ireland, guys. When we're talking about this whole area right here, right? This whole Northeast and British Isles, all this was, there was a lot going on in ancient times back and forth. Where they get in their metal for their tin, right? In Cornwall. It's very close to the Michigan going across. Remember that currents are a lot stronger going that way. We just did a video yesterday. Right? People were ending up over there. Columbus met Indians in 1477 in Ireland. He wasn't lost. Acadians, Acadia, summer, China, huh? That's why you gotta have orientation, a true orientation. There we go. Ireland Ur of the Chaldees, Shinar in Europe, Celtic, sons of Shem and Japhet. All right. That's part 1 of my Ireland and Chaldea series. Okay. Check it out. Check it out. We got so much drop on this channel. And hopefully the rest of the world is going to catch up one day and stop being biased with their out of Africa stuff and try to come debate me like this is debatable. This ain't debatable. I know a lot of you guys said yesterday, oh, I want you to come out of retirement and go debate them and all. Nah, we don't do that, man. I need to debate fools who don't have real research. That's not a debate anyways. That's not how you debate anyways, going on somebody's channel and screaming at each other and people getting disrespectful. The difference is because I don't look so-called black, right? They don't respect me, guys. They'll start with the insults as soon as I debunk them or say something that they didn't know. You already know how it goes with these fools. Rabba, let me show you something, Rabba. Hold on. You talking about Anunnaki? You guys know the ancient name of Mexico, Central Mexico? You guys know the name? They say Aztec, but it's way before Aztec. Anunnaki existed way before the Aztec got there. Okay? Close to water, just like Atlantis, ATL means water, Nahuac, which is a relational word that can be fixed, right? ATL is an American word. When we talk about Atlantis, we're not talking about Greek stuff. They just add the tis at the end. That's the Greek. Atlantis, Anunnaki. Now, guys, if you're from Anunnaki, right? Okay, so let's say I'm from Cal. This is just an example. If I'm from California, how would people refer to me? Saying, hey, he's a Californian, right? He's a Californian. He's from California. Californian, right? If you're from Anunnaki, how do you say that? How do you say I'm from that place? Like it's like saying Californian. You would say maybe Anunnakin, Anunnakin, Anunnakin. Gotta say, there's a language barrier. Translations get distorted as time goes by. Anunnakin. Okay, that's one thing. I'm just. Anunnakin, huh? Hold on. What is this? What's this, guys? What is this? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you break the spell. Anunnakin, huh? Anunnakin, huh? Anunnaki. Anunnaki, huh? Anunnakin, huh? Hold on. I got y'all. Just remember that. Think of. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I have so many. Okay, hold on. Let's just Google it because I got so many images on my computer. So, Birdman, Babylonian. Birdman. Not talking about the rapper. I'm not talking about the rapper. Who's this? Guys? Bird-headed relief culture of an Assyrian deity, right? So-called Babylonian, right? This is an Anunnaki, supposedly, right? This is an Anunnaki, right? So who's this? Wake up. Look at the clothing. He got what's it called? Fringes. He's dressed like an American Indian. And what does he have in his hand? All right, again, guys, help me teach the people. What is this guy holding in his hand? What is he holding in his hand, guys? I'm gonna show you how smart my followers are. Oh, you can't see. Oh, my fault, man. Damn, this whole time, you guys, why didn't you tell me? Oh my gosh. Damn. Hold on, man. Come on, guys. You gotta told me, man. You gotta tell me when I'm not seeing. Come on, guys. This whole time, man. Damn. Anunnaki. Damn, I don't even know how long. What didn't I show? How long have I not been showing? Did I show you that I had Shinar, right? My video, right? Ireland, Ur of the Chaldees, Shinar in Europe, Shinar, Chaldees in Ireland. Okay, and then we go into Anunnaki. You guys got to tell me. Yeah, thank you, Monty. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I do that a lot. It's because I'm live, guys. You know, I don't, you know, I got so many windows open. I gotta hit share this, share that, and it just gets I get a little lost sometimes. So Anunnaki, Anunnaki, right? And who's this? We're talking about eagle warriors, right? Eagle warriors, right? They dress like eagles, right? Not just like eagles, but jaguars, right? Like Black Panther, right? But we're talking about this, right? You see this? Where else do you see that? Boom. Bird-headed relief sculpture of an Assyrian deity, huh? So-called Babylonian, huh? So-called Anunnaki, huh? They want you to think aliens and all that. They always want you to think aliens. And so I was asking, what is this so-called Anunnaki holding in his hand? And Carrie gave the answer. There you go. That's not Thoth. Well, it could be. Thoth is an Iblis. Ibis. I'll show you. So, and I'll show you where the Ibis comes from, the green Ibis. So, he's holding corn. I bet y'all never noticed that this guy was holding corn. He's holding corn. It's not an acorn, that's a corn. And he got the seeds in his bag. He got fringes. He's dressed like an American Indian. Who's this? That's an eagle warrior. We literally dress like that over here, guys. Eagle warriors. And Black Panther. A Black Panther is just a jaguar with black skin. Do you understand what I'm showing you when you're talking about Anunnaki? Break the spell right now. Break the spell. He's holding corn. He's holding corn, ancient corn. Oh, but corn don't look like that, Kurimeo. I don't know anything, man. Ancient corn. They come in various sizes. Look. You see? Don't it look like an acorn? Ancient maize plant. And we're talking about ancient times, especially if we're talking about ancient times, right? Ancient. Don't that look like an acorn? Why is this important? Because we fed the world. We help people settle down. The start of civilization is agriculture, guys. We were the first to domesticate many food crops and settle down and create civilization and have time for leisure and do sports and pyramid building. You need time. You need to be able to have a surplus of food to be able to do that stuff, guys. Okay? Yeah, they told you that was the pineal gland. They don't listen. They dumb you down, guys. They dumb you down on purpose when it's very, very obvious. It's corn he's holding. It's corn. Not only there, but in India. I got videos on all this. I got videos on this. Let me show you. I need some real. Hold on. Your statues, temple. We need the ones on the ancient temples. He's not trying to show it to me. We're gonna have to go to my videos, see? Can't do statues. Look at the look, see? This is a redone of, this is 3 years ago, but I was redoing an old video. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. You guys see that? You guys see what they're holding in the Indian temples? Undeniable proof of Maiz in India before Columbus. Why is this significant? Because these temples are older than Columbus, way older than Columbus. Why are they holding corn if corn is a plant from the Americas? Can anybody answer that? Exactly. Corn doesn't grow on its own. Corn does not grow in the wild. It needs human help to spread. If you guys didn't know that. The significance of corn. The significance of corn. So you're telling me that you guys saw this statue and them holding corn, but you never thought it was corn. Why? Why? That's not a pine cone, man. Jorge, man, come on, man. I know you've been here a while, Jorge. Man, what's up with y'all, guys? What's up with you guys, man? That's not a pine, man. Some of y'all stubborn, man. Some of y'all real stubborn, man. That's not no pine cone, man. That's not no pine cone, man. That's not no pine cone, man. Are you guys not listening? What's going on, man? Are you not listening on purpose, what I'm saying? What's going on, man? What's going on? Hindu deities holding maize ears are abundant in northern India, and they soon attracted the attention of American geographers. Now listen, guys. What I showed and I was reading in this video is a very scholarly article written by specialists, agriculturalists, people who are experts in identifying food crops and plants and things like that. And they clearly telling you this is maize, not a pine cone. So don't come here with that, man. Pay attention, man. Yo, you're stubborn, man. I ain't looking for pine cones. I know what pine cone looks like, man. You just got yourself timed out for 24 hours, man. You're not paying attention. You're not the expert. I don't care what you say. The agriculturists, the scientists, the experts said this is maize. Y'all are stuck on your own beliefs and the fake stories they told you growing up. Yeah, but it's not pine cone, it's maize, guys. There's a reason why they honoring maize, because it helped people settle down. It helped people produce abundant amount of food so they can settle down and create civilizations. And it was brought by the so-called gods from the Americas. They brought corn. This was significant. This was significant. Man, I'm disappointed in Jorge, man. He comes here like every 3 or 4 years, once every out of the blue, and he comes and gives his opinion. Man, come on, man. Don't come here with that hijack, man. Don't come here with that hijack, man. You ain't learning nothing all these years, man. You're talking about pine cones. You haven't learned nothing. How old is this video? 7 years ago. You completely ignored this one, right? You completely ignored this one, right? Maize diffused to India before Columbus came to America. Carl L. Johansson. Look up the article and who's involved in the study. It's all agricultural experts. It's all agricultural experts. They are telling you is maize, not a pine cone. Not a pine cone. I know what pine cone looks like. You don't know all the types of different maize, obviously, what they look like. You don't know all the different maizes. There's so many different varieties of maize that look like pine cone, that look like acorns. Yeah, the pine cone thing, that's what I'm saying. What about it? Okay, oh, mythical, oh, the third eye. Okay, what about it? You guys understand, it's more simpler. It's more simpler. We help people settle down with corn. Corn still feeds the world today, guys. Corn is the #1 food crop in the world today. It's very simple, logical. These are logical things to understand. But you want to stay ignorant, then that's your choice, Jorge. Okay. So how did I get to all this? Because we were showing the Birdman, right? The Anunnaki, Anuwakin, the Anawakan, Anunnakin. As time goes, language, people translate things wrong and start pronouncing things wrong. And now you're just an Anunnaki alien, reptilian, right? Instead of an eagle warrior, bringing it over. Instead of an eagle warrior, bringing over the corn and helping people get civilized. All right, are we clear with this, or anybody else got any other opinions? I know Pan-Africans are hurting, and everybody else that wants to put ancient civilized people on the other side of the world and not in the Americas, they hurting. We're gonna go back to the article, right? So they're journeying from the east and they're finding a plain in the land of Shinar. There's no such thing as Sumerians. Summer was a place, like saying California. So anybody living in Shinar, it's not even summer, it's called Shinar. It's referred to as a Sumerian, but the real Sumerians, Cimmerians, Cimmerians, like Conan the Cimmerian. Conan the Barbarian was a Cimmerian in that movie. That's a whole different thing. And those are from Europe. The Babylonians, according to their traditions, believed that in the first year there made its appearance from the Erythraean Sea, which bordered upon Babylonia. Remember, we broke it down, these places, geography, where they really were in ancient times. And my videos, researches into the lost history of America, which bordered upon Babylonia, an animal endowed with reason, who was called Oannes. The whole body of the animal was like that of a fish. Remember, we read that ancient Americans put on fish scale suits and they went out in the sea. Seafaring people, who was the first navigators and seafarers. The Oannes was associated in Greek mythology to the Western world, to the Americas. The whole body of the animal was like that of a fish and had under his fish head another head. So under his fish head, another fit. I told you, it's a suit. It's a suit they had on. And also feet below, similar to those of man. It's a suit they had on, subjoined to the fish's tail. His voice too and language were articulate and human. This being in the daytime used to converse with men, but took no food at that season, and he gave them an insight into letters and science, and every kind of art. He taught them to construct houses, to found temples, to compile laws, and explain to them the principles of geometrical knowledge. So they're teaching people knowledge. They're bringing their civilized knowledge to the rest of the world. And they had a representation of him at Babylon in the time of Berosus, such as the piece of sculpture called the Fish God, found at Nineveh by Mr. Layard, and now in the British Museum. Oh, and now in the British Museum, but they want you to believe they found it over there. This is big right here. A lot of the things they have in museums all over the world, they'll tell you, oh, we got this in Egypt. Yeah, what Egypt? The real Egypt or the fake one? But now it's just in the British Museum, right? And we're supposed to believe you found it somewhere where you want us to think you found it. In the same collection of Assyrian antiquities, right? We just showed the Assyrian deity, right? The bird, the eagle warrior from the Americas, so-called Assyrian. You know, Assyrians descend from Ashur, right? Ashur is their progenitor. Ashur is a son of Shem. Going back to the real land, right? We find remains called sacred trees. And in the Paris collection of marbles from Nineveh, the oldest form of the sacred tree is represented by the aloe plant. The sacred tree is the aloe plant, which is a native of the Americas. Come on now. Oh, wow. Body bag for the illusion. Wow. The oldest form of the sacred tree of the Assyrians is actually an aloe plant, which is native to the Americas. I mean, how many more things like, and then till we get people stop trying to come over here. Kurimeo is a pine cone. That's not an aloe plant, Kurimeo. It's a pine cone, Kurimeo. It's not an aloe plant. Everything's a pine cone. Aloe, another thing, another food, another plant that originated in the Americas. What didn't originate in the Americas? Or the oldest land of the primordial waters? The oldest land of the primordial waters, right? Where's the oldest land? Where's the oldest land? Huh? Where's the oldest land? Check this out. Louis Agassiz, geological sketches. All right, we're doing a crash course right now for all the new people. Who is Louis Agassiz? This is written in 1866, literally 2 years before the article we're reading right now. Who is Louis Agassiz? He is the most renowned and famous geologist that existed. Okay? And he wrote a book. It's called Geological Sketches. This book you have to read if you study geology in college or the university. It's part of your curriculum. You have to. You have to learn about Louis Agassiz, the most famous geologist. All right? Geological Sketches by Louis Agassiz. All right? We're going to go right to the very first page in case people are like not hip. Very first page. Very first page, very first chapter. Very first page, very first chapter. And what does it say? Number 1, chapter 1, America, the old world. America, the old world. Not over there, not Mesopotamia, not ancient, not over there. America, the old world. Firstborn, again, firstborn among the continents. Though so much later in culture and civilization, dodge the hijack, we already proved that part is wrong. He was still saying, well, even though this was the oldest land, people started civilizing over there, even though they didn't have all these food crops, even though civilization begins through agriculture. And we have most of the food crops in the world, original to here. And we got the fossilized squash, the fossilized corn, found all over the Americas. Ancient farming grounds, ancient farms they have found. Next to the mounds, next to Peru and Caral Supe, and Mexico and Mesoamerica. So, firstborn among the continents, America, so far as her physical history is concerned, has been falsely denominated the New World. All right. How many people were saying this? How many people were saying this already? Why they never teach us this? Think about that, guys. They want you to know so much about the other side of the world, and you believe it, and you're still going around talking about pine cones, like it's a great example. Corey is a great example of how people are stubborn. They believe whatever they were told. You didn't do your own research. But the research is everywhere. If you just look, but you're not looking, you're biased to your own personal beliefs, and you're just talking about same old theories. America, so far as her physical history is concerned, has been falsely denominated the New World. Okay, hers was the first dry land lifted out of the waters. Hers the first shore washed by the ocean that enveloped all the earth besides. And while Europe, listen, while Europe was represented only by islands rising here and there above the sea, America already stretched an unbroken line of land from Nova Scotia to the far west. Okay? America's the oldest land out of the waters, guys. So wouldn't it have the oldest and most abundant food and resources and people and civilization too? Come on, be logical. What did I show you earlier? Oh, we don't got the map up. There we go. And you know that what they're talking about is right here. The oldest land is all right here. And the Laurentian Mountains. The Laurentian mountain chain. Very close to the real Tower of Babel. Very close to Akkadians, Acadia, Babylon. The real Michigan copper. Very close to the Michigan copper. Very close to the oldest forest in the world. What is the oldest forest in the world? Cairo, Catskill, New York. The oldest tree, the oldest fossil, the oldest water. All right, I want you guys, this is for the new people. Put world's oldest, America, Kurimeo. It should pop up. It should pop up. World's oldest civilization. Okay, that's one. That's not the video though. Hold up. Look, first inhabitants of Asia came from America. That's a whole other article. True old world, oldest lands. You know, that's a whole other thing. Look, world's oldest mammal found in America. Come on, man. Hold on. Where's my video? See, they hating. Why don't they pop? It should pop up. I have the tags and everything on the video. It's supposed to pop up. World's oldest. Yeah, they hating. Look, Louis Agassiz, 6 years ago when I showed that, what I just showed you guys. Yeah, you didn't know that. You're still talking about pine cones. Come on, where's that? Look at this. World's oldest trees and forests in New York. Terraforming and living things began in America. 385 million year old roots found in New York. World's oldest forest. World's oldest forest. This was from yesterday. This is the video we did yesterday. Oh man, where's that video? Look, people be hating on me, guys. People be doing videos about what I look like and not the info I share. They're more worried about what I look like. Then, oh yeah, origin of animals in America. Oh yeah. So it's not just one thing. We're not just talking about Tamari to try to prove this is the old world. So that's your own hijacks. Where is that video? Man, I can't believe it's not popping up. Look, ancient Egypt in America. You guys should watch this one. You guys, want the Egypt drop. That's a good one too. Oh man, I can't believe the video didn't pop up. But if you go through my videos, guys, you'll see it. I put a lot of the world's oldest in one video, and it's all in America. And we got a new one. What is the oldest trees in the world? What are the oldest trees in the world? Not the oldest root or forest, but the actual oldest trees that are living. Oldest trees that are living. So there was one called Methuselah, right? Hold on. Prometheus. I got a video I'm going to do on this. It was cut down. It was 5,000 years old. That's in California. And then the second oldest, Methuselah, which is still alive, is in California. Not over there in Mesopotamia, not in over there in the Middle East, here in the Americas. And when you start going down the list, you see most of them were in the Americas. And still, look, this one, number 4, Chile. Chile. And where's the tallest tree? Where's the tallest tree in existence right now? It's in Yosemite Park, I think. It's near Yosemite Park. Look, the giant sequoias. Come on now. When you're talking about shipbuilding, this is the other thing. You want to talk about shipbuilding and navigation, you needed big trees. You needed big trees, right? Talking about big trees and shipbuilding. What is gopher wood? The mystery of the ark's timber. So if you guys don't know, in the Bible, I know a lot of you guys know this stuff, right? Let me go into this. So look, gopher wood is a term used once in the Bible to describe the material used to construct Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark. It was built with gopher wood. Where does gopher wood grow, guys? Where does gopher wood grow? Where is gopher wood found? Only. Gopher wood is found in general, or was found in general, in Florida. And there's some parts of South America. Look at this. Did Noah's Ark set sail from Florida? This is the oldest land. This is the true old world. Florida, Garden of Eden. Huh? You guys understand what I'm showing you? And you're talking about tamari and pine cones? Come on, man. We got way more evidence that this is the true old world than just talking about tamari. Yeah, you Pan-Africans are funny as shh. Where can gophers be found? Man, when I did it on my phone, it literally told you gopher wood is a native to America only. To America only. Let's see if it tells us. Let me see. Identity. See, it doesn't even tell you in the Wikipedia. That's crazy. That's crazy. They don't want you to know. There we go. No, that's an animal. See, that's funny. That's crazy that they don't even tell you that gopher, even though they talk about it, they're not telling you, well, by the way, gopher wood is only found in the Americas. They left that out of this Wikipedia, right? They left it out completely. They left it out completely. Gopher wood is only found in the Americas, guys. That's where it's native to. Okay? Okay? You see how much stuff I could just be reading the article today, guys, and just make it a little boring and just keep reading. But I'm trying to add context. I'm trying to help this author. Because he was onto it. He was like, yo, it seems like America's actually the old world. And I'm helping him like, yes, we're in 2025 now. Right? We know a lot more now. This was written in 1868. He was saying that the sacred tree represented in the Syrian, is actually an aloe plant, which is a native of the Americas. You see how far we went? We was trying to show something. We're going to go back to the article now. I hope you guys understood everything I just showed you. Okay? That's what I'm saying. We've done so much work here, so much research. And people still want to hate. People still want to talk about me, make fun of Hawa. People want to talk about what I look like. Oh, he ain't one of us. You guys gotta understand, like, because I'm not so-called black, I don't have. There's a lot of black folks that don't follow me just because I'm not black, guys. They'd rather go watch somebody that looks like them, who might not even be kin. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And I don't have a bunch of Costa Ricans. Like that's Costa Ricans don't even speak English. They don't care about this history. I don't have a real, like, I should have more followers, more subscribers. I should have like 500, 600, 800 people right now. 1,000 people. I got 164,000 subscribers. There's only 200 people right now. Make it make sense. I'm shadow banned, guys. And even on top of all that, I still continue. I'm still growing. And the real people, I appreciate you guys so much for always being here, holding me up, motivating me. And I don't have a bunch of Latinos following me because they think I'm a black channel. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I don't have the supporters like all these other channels got of being followed just because of what they look like, or because, oh, he one of us. Oh, he one of us, so I'm gonna follow him. Or he talk about black Indians only. That I like hearing about that. I ain't no European. Kurimeo trying to make us Europeans. So I don't have a bunch of Latinos following me either, because they think I'm a black channel, because they see my thumbnails and they think I'm just talking about black, just like that fool Longo said, right? I try to make everybody black. I try to make everybody black. Even though yesterday, what did we read about the Indianos and Indians? They were referred to as very dark brown people. So I don't really have a support like I should have. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's a little unfair. I'd be like, man, I wish maybe one day people will understand me. A lot of people from different ethnic backgrounds will follow me and understand what I'm showing. You know? Hey, Justin, man, what's up, man? You gotta subscribe. You gotta check every day. You know, don't wait on notifications. You know, just check my channel every day, man. I upload almost every day. Rabba says only 1/3 will learn the glory of the Most High. Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't care about the Most High. That's the other reason they don't follow me. Because I'm with the Most High. And they think I'm talking about religion. So, guys, I'm just trying to tell you, this should be mainstream already. This should be more popular. This should have mad people here learning. Forget about what I look like. Forget about me. I'm showing you sources. All right, you guys understand? Okay, so please understand that for real and help me out. Help educate people. Say, hey, don't be so ignorant, man. Listen to what he's saying and showing you. Forget about what he looks like. Why don't you follow him? Why are you never on his chat? But then I see them over there, and then they come once in a round. Oh, man, I've been following you for years. No, you haven't. You watched 2 or 3, 4 videos out of 1,100 or more that I got. But you're tuned into those other channels as soon as they go live, right? They got 500 people for nothing. People talking nonsense. Only because they one of us, man. I'm gonna follow him. They one of us. He don't look like us. It's not the same for any truther. I'm talking about other so-called truthers. They got their following. So like white folks, they got their white following, right? They got their bias white, you know, and black folks got their, you know, that's their master teachers, right? Master teachers. And they could have a video live about nonsense and they're going to have 500 people on the chat. And look what we're showing today. Look at all this info we are dropping. We are proving. Look at all the stuff I showed you just from me reading this article. And we got 200 people here only. And I got 164,000 subscribers, and those people don't have that many. They got more loyal people actually following them, though, because of what they look like and what they're saying and what they're not saying. They bias to certain things. Okay, let's continue. I just wanted to talk about that, get that on my chest. You guys gotta understand, I don't have the support of so-called Latinos like that. I don't have the support of all so-called black. I don't have support of all so-called white. I just have support of real people that like truth and like history. And we are the few. We are the few, unfortunately, guys. We're going to continue now. Let's see what else he's saying. We got so much drop on this article. It says, either then we must suppose that the Assyrians came from America. Let's suppose the Assyrians descend from Ashur, which is true. And let's suppose Ashur is a son of Shem, which is true. Let's suppose Shem and Noah came out of America, which we just read, right? Where does Gopher Wood come out of? How did they build the Ark of Noah? Let's suppose, huh? What is the oldest land? You see how it all comes together, right? I'm trying to show you guys something. I believe one must learn the basics of one's own, but they're not going to learn. What is one's own? Everybody's a follower, Emmanuel. Unfortunately, most people are followers. They don't learn on their own. They don't go out and research or verify things people are saying. They just follow people that are saying things that are music to their ears without verifying if that's true or not. You guys got to understand, this is controversial even for truthers. So-called truthers can't even handle this. They ain't real truthers. They're biased. You can help me reach to the whole world, man. Well, go ahead. What you waiting for? By the way, I never really seen you around here, but thanks for being here today. I don't recognize the name. Maybe you have commented before. I just don't recognize the name. And if you can do that, then please do help me. But a lot of people tell me that, and here I am. People told me that every day. I'll share it. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't got the following that would require for me to get more traffic. What is the basics, guys? What do you think is the basics? Literally the basics that are taught to people is that out of Africa theories. That is the basics. What is the basics to you? You either all in or not. There's no more sugarcoating. There's no more, oh, here's a little basic thing for you. No, you got to know. We're in 2025. We got phones. We can research things now. It's not like before. People choose to stay stuck in ignorance and be biased in their personal beliefs. What are they not saying? That they're Black Europeans too. That's what they're not saying. That's what they're not saying. If that's what you're asking me, Chosen Kingdom. That's what they're not saying. They want to talk. Some of them do talk about it, but they don't emphasize, hey, we all got this in our genealogy, guys. That's what they're not saying. So it becomes a bias thing, because now it's just about being back Indian. And now you're talking about Egyptians and Israelites like it's religion, like it's just Bible stuff. A lot of that too. They don't mention none of that stuff. Yeah, so let's continue. So the Assyrians came from America, right? Assyrians descend from Ashur, a son of Shem. So definitely. Having learned from the Americans to deify the aloe plant. Why the aloe plant? Listen, isn't that famous in Mexico? For the Mexicans dedicated the aloe to the god of air. You see, there's an origin to everything, guys. See, in the Assyrian text, they just, oh, look, that's the aloe. What they don't tell you is the aloe, but it's literally the aloe. But you don't tell you why. Why are you worshiping this? Why is this the symbol of your deity? But in Mexico, it was dedicated, the aloe, to the god of air. Or that they must have gone to America and discovered for themselves the medicinal properties of the aloe, dedicated the plant to the god of air, and taught the Mexicans to do so likewise. And they must have returned to Asia, must have. So they came, they didn't do anything. They just, aloe, let's go back now. No, they were from here. This is the true old world, guys. They see it in reverse. And there is thrown aside the sacred symbol and substituted others for it. So he's trying to make sense. He's noticing, he's like, wow, they actually worship, or they have the symbol of the aloe plant for one of the deities. That's an American plant. Wow, so he's trying to make sense out of it. In 1868, this article's from 1868. They have spirits leading them astray. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Chosen Kingdom, listen. Anybody want to do any kind of build or collab or just talk to me? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Why are you saying that I'm a live chat? Why haven't you reached out to me? I'm on Instagram, on Telegram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on my Patreon page. I got an email. Like, there's so many ways to reach out to me. I'm the only Kurimeo on all the platforms. If you really wanted to work with me, you would have done it already. It would have happened already. Another curious point may be noticed. The Babylonians would appear to have had a syphilitic god called Nana. Syphilis. We just read about this yesterday. Listen, syphilitic god called Nana. And the Americans had also such a god called Nanavak. It is not surprising that the Americans should have had such a deity because the disease, wow, that's the most high right there. That's how, wow. We just read this yesterday in a modern book about syphilis possibly being here in America and being brought over to Europe and then mutating over there and becoming more virulent. It said yesterday, virulent. Listen to what it's saying here. It is not surprising that the Americans should have had such a deity because the disease which he represents, syphilis, right? We just read this yesterday. Wow. Or over which she ruled is of American origin. It's of American origin. But why the Babylonians should have had one is incomprehensible unless the idea were derived from American teaching. Wow. Like, literally, we just went over that yesterday. That's how this works. I didn't know this was going to be in here. I didn't know if I read this today. I hadn't read this article. This is the first time I read this article, guys. I just saw the title and I was like, this gotta be good. I'm gonna read it with everybody. I swear to God. I didn't read this article yet. You remember that from yesterday, right? We talked about syphilis towards the end of the video. He was trying to say maybe that was an American thing. And why would Europeans and them have it? Somebody must have brought it over. That's what he was saying in ancient times. Look how this book from the 1868 is correlating. He's letting you know it is from America. Why do they have a god called that or related to syphilis? The Babylonians, so-called Babylonians. Unless the idea were derived from American teaching. Unless the idea were derived from American teaching. Hey, Nafo, I appreciate you, man. You know, hopefully, you know, thank you. The Phoenicians called their first town Sidon. So-called Phoenicians. That just means seafarers. It's not a nation, guys. It's not a nation. It's not a specific nation. It's just seafaring people. Which in the Phoenician language meant fish. What is Phoenician language, guys? That's Paleo-Hebrew. Phoenician is Paleo-Hebrew. Block Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew, pictograph, which was found all over the Americas. And they had likewise their fish god called Dagon. Dagon, huh? Or Dogon, right? The Dogon from Africa. Dagon, huh? A fish god called Dagon. Check this out. Check this out. This is from my corn videos. Dagon, corn, Hebrew, Strongs. Right? We know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot. Dagon or Dagon, 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 corn, corn, corn. Going back to the corn thing. We brought corn all over the world. The fish god brought corn, meaning the seafarers, people of the sea, the fish gods. They brought corn, the grain that sustained us, that helped us settle down and create civilization. They're not talking about wheat. It literally means corn. When you see the context, when you're reading it in the Bible, it's literally corn. 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 Dagon. Corn. 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 Okay? You guys see? I can do this all day. I can do this all day. What else you want to talk about and bring up? I love that he's bringing up a lot of things because it helps us reference a lot of things. You guys didn't know that, huh? Doggone, huh? Doggone, huh? Doggone corn. Doggone it. Doggone Kurimeo, man. You blowing my mind. Doggone. The way in which he was represented, however, differed from the way in which the Babylonians represented their own. For the Phoenician fish god had no feet, nor was the fish head above the god's head, and the Phoenicians had an inscription on one of their temples dedicated to him, saying, "Here lies the body, head, and hands of Dagon." Dagon, man. But with no mention of his feet. Thus, there was a difference between the Babylonian and the Phoenician fish gods. In the sacred book of the Toltec race in America, okay, hold on, guys. If you just came on late, because I do see that the numbers are growing. Please try to watch this from the beginning, even if you don't want to do that now. I mean, you can do it now, but at least please try to watch this from the beginning. There's so much drop we went over, especially if you're new to my channel. Or even if you want to refresh a lot of things we've gone over in the last couple of years. We've been doing that all day. We've been here almost 3 hours now, 2 hours and 40 minutes. So don't miss out on the info. Make sure you watch it from the beginning, okay? In the sacred book of the Toltec race in America, there is a myth to this effect. 2 hero gods were burnt and their ashes were thrown in the water. But on the 5th day, they arose again. Look, resurrection, listen. And were seen by the people appearing as 2 fish gods. Come on now. Man, I can't make this up, man, if I wanted to. Fish gods, huh? The 2 hero gods. The twin brothers, the twin hero gods of creation, of the Popol Vuh, and also of the mound builders. Of the mound builders. If you want to know the name of the article, please watch from the beginning, okay? Please watch from the beginning. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Watch from the beginning. So 2 hero gods, they became fish gods. Both are described as resembling the Phoenicians' fish god, and they exactly the same as the ones, the so-called deities over there. This is what I'm saying, but they would never tell us this stuff, guys. So we wouldn't be like, wait, why do they have fish gods too and they look the same and they're described the same? Wait, who's copying who? Who's copying who? That is as half man and half fish, like a mermaid. Like a mermaid. Either then the Americans learned that there were 2 fish gods in the old world and yet represented them both like the Phoenician, or the 2 fish gods of the old world were derived from those 2 in America. It's from America they copied us. You see, everything. There's an origin to everything. Of course, if this is the true old world, of course. I'm not trying to generalize. It just is. It is what it is. You can't handle that. It is what it is. In America, and became altered in the manner of the representation after the people were scattered. The Phoenician retaining the original form, and the Babylonian, who was a worshiper of Belus, or the sun. I mean, that goes back to what? The Tower of Belus, the Pyramid of Cholula. That's the real tower. That's the real temple of Belus, guys. It's the Pyramid of Cholula. They haven't found it on the other side. It's right here in Mexico. The Pyramid of Cholula is the temple of Belus, or Jupiter, or the sun, as they're saying. That's the hijack. Altering his fish god by adding feet to it, the symbol of, or hieroglyphic of, the course of the sun. Jonah, before his preaching to Ninevites, right? This is biblical right here now, right? Was swallowed by a whale, and by a miracle was saved in its inside 3 days and 3 nights. So that Jonah may be considered at that particular time as a type of the fish god, which had been and was to come. Why do they represent Jesus with a fish? Like, this is deep. This is when it starts getting deep, right? There's an origin to everything. When Jonah arrived at Nineveh, we are told that God prepared a gourd and made it come up over Jonah. But the gourd became smitten by a worm, and the sun beat upon the head of Jonah. And Jonah said, "It is better for me to die." And God said to Jonah, "Doesn't thou well to be angry for the gourd?" And he said, "I do well to be angry, even unto death." Now, the sacred book of the Toltec and Americans, which contains the account of the two hero gods being turned into fish gods, he's talking about the Popol Vuh, guys, has these further particulars about the early history of one of them. Now, there's an origin story to this here. He had his head cut off, right? Hold on, my fault, guys. He had his head cut off by the solar worshippers of Xibalba. That's the underworld, Xibalba. That Sholot, or the real Anubis, ruled. He ruled Xibalba, the underworld, just like Anubis. And when it was cut off, it was hung up in a tree, which instantly produced gourds. The reputation of this tree became so great that a virgin would go to partake of the fruit. Wow. The forbidden fruit, a virgin. Wow. When she approached the tree, this head, as a death's head, spoke to her concerning the fruit, which she persisted in desiring to have. Wow, she wanted the fruit, huh? Then this death's head tells her to hold out her hand, and the death's head spits into it, by which she becomes a mother. Wow, she gets pregnant, spit. Oh, Gourds to this day in America go by the name of this hero god, who ultimately, it will be remembered, rises as a fish god. If this myth blending a sort of knowledge of a forbidden tree with Jonah's gourd and fish were taught by the Americans by a Ninevite after the preaching of Jonah, then the Ninevite taught them to represent the fish god in the Phoenician manner, and not in the way in which the Ninevites themselves represented him. And as we may see that they did by their fish god in the British Museum. All right, where is it? In London, England. They tell us, "Oh, we found this over there." Yeah, don't worry about it. We found, yeah. What if they found all this stuff in the Americas, guys? It is well known that Tyre was famous for its purple dye. Who's the Tyrians? we broke this down. That the temple of Hercules in that city was built 2,300 years before the time of Herodotus, and that it was dedicated to Hercules, or the sun, or a leader named Hercules, who introduced the worship of the sun into that city. Who is Hercules? Who is Samson in the Bible? Who is Samson? Who is Hercules? The Syrians had this myth that the purple dye was discovered from a dog of Hercules having stained his mouth with the liquor of the sea snail fish, from which liquor the dye was made. The same sea snail fish is still found on the coast of Guayaquil. Listen, the same sea snail fish which the Syrians were supposedly depicting, all right, which has a dye from the mouth, listen, is actually from Guatemala, on the coast of Guayaquil in Guatemala, Central America, guys. You see, there's an origin to everything. Now, with the single exception of our Lord being clothed in purple, what Lord? Neither in Egypt nor in Asia was purple the color associated with Godhead. But it was otherwise in America. We have gone over this, the significance of purple in ancient America. The purple was the color used expressly as the symbol of divine energy, and also used by the Israelites. Hercules has played such an important part in the ancient myth of the Old World as to require one or two special observations in reference to him. He was essentially a Greek god, and the god par excellence in the Dorian race. There was likewise an Indian Hercules. Oh, an Indian Hercules, and an Assyrian one. All right, all duplicates of the original. But it was the Hercules of the Dorians, right, the so-called Greeks, to whom the great labors and exploits so familiarly associated with this name belonged. What did we learn about this Hercules of the so-called Greeks in the book we read, Researches into the Lost History of America? He was in the Americas, guys. And those legendary travels of Hercules, and he's fighting that was in the Americas. We broke it down. To whom the great labors explored. The ancient Greeks, so-called Greeks, that's not a nation, guys, that's an empire. So-called Greeks include Israelites, includes Hamites, includes Japhet people, includes different people. Remember, Troy and the Trojans are from Judah. The Mycenaeans, the Danites, the Danans, come on now. Remember all the past research. Don't get caught up in their lies and their spells, and you want to picture what a Greek is in your head. So-called Greek. Very close to Greek, huh? Greeks. The ancient Greeks were divided into three great races, but the two were best acquainted with are the Dorians and the Ionians. To the Dorians belonged the Doric capital, to the Ionians the Ionic. And the Dorian race was a distinct from the Ionian as the Doric capital is from the Ionic. So even here, they're telling you all the Greeks weren't the same. That's what I was just saying. The chief objects of adoration to the Ionians were sea divinities. The chief object of adoration to the Dorians was the sun. All right, that's cool right there. Let me just go somewhere real quick. This is for the new people again. Guys, remember, I'm still like, I'm feeling a lot better, but I was fighting a strong cold last, this whole week. Okay. So sorry if you hear me, my voice a little bit. So for the new people, I really want you to go ahead and check out this series. We read the whole book. This was such a great book we read. Researches into the Lost History of America. All right. Look, Oceanus is America. That's part 2. Part 1, the pre-Egyptians are Atlanteans. Come on now. Like, this is so many people. The ego soul of the world in zodiacal maps is America. Look, part 4, Atlantis and the Phoenician cosmogony. It's the same. Number 5, the great dragon of the old world, the Titans' home. Where are the Titans from? This is what I'm saying. Mexico, look at part 6, Mexico as Prometheus and Medusa. Come on now. Come on now. Part 7, the empire of mounts, Mount Olympus in the Allegheny Mountains. Yes, that's the real Mount Olympus in the Allegheny Mountains, guys. That's one of the oldest lands, connected to the oldest lands in Canada. It came down. Yes. Number 8, the North American Indian, a modern standpoint. And then look at number 9, Plato on ancient Atlantis, zodiac geography. Number 10, the evacuation and flight of the gods from America, guys. From America. The gods, right? This is what I'm saying. They're bringing their corn and their knowledge all over the world. Number 11, Cyclopean buildings of Europe built by Americans. So much drop. Number 12, South America as Pluto. The Tupi, Amazonian women. The Amazonian women of the Greeks. Remember, why they called Amazonians? Amazon is from America, isn't it? Number 13, sign of the centaur and lupus, wolf in ancient Peru. So-called Roman stuff. So-called Roman stuff. Who is the Incas? Canopic jars originated in South America. You see where they stored we had our own over here, guys, and I showed you guys the history. Number 15, American influence on the ancient world. Man, like, so much drop. Check out this playlist, okay, when you have time. All right, now you know. I mean, I have so many playlists, but make sure you check it all out. The Dorians worshiped the male principle, strength. The Ionians, the female, beauty. of the history, myths, etc., and of the third and more ancient race of the Greeks, the Pelasgians, little is known. Little is known. You see, they don't know anything. Whether the word Pelanque in Central America is derived from Pelasgian or Pelasgian from Palenque is for the learned to decide. But both the people of Palenque and the Pelasgians, listen, that built the temple in the island of Euboea on Mount Oca or Ocha, had the same unique method of construction in their buildings. Now, the Doric column was a decided dedication to the sun, yet we find in Paris in the Museum of Mexican Antiquities, an American Doric capital, better expressing its dedication to the sun than any Doric order found in the old world. Okay? All right, a better expression. Because on the neck of the shaft of the Mexicans have sculptured their hieroglyphic Olin, the course of the sun. Here, then, we have in Mexico a Dorian race. Okay? Here, then, in Mexico, we have a Dorian race. More orthodox Herculeans than the Dorians themselves were. Okay? Oh, man. But the Ionians were worshippers of sea divinities. Sea divinities, that's what they call the ancient navigators of America. And might not the spiral of the Ionic volute have been suggested by the form of a sea snail shell? We have an account by Garcilaso de Vega, right, of a burying place or temple of Talmeco in Florida. Wow. Remember, this temple was filled of pearls. We got a whole video on this on this temple, where she thus describes upon the roof of this temple a variety of shells of different sizes are set, and several fishes ranged in a very beautiful order. But it is scarce possible to think whence they were brought, since those people lived out always setting that a large sea snail between two little ones, with spaces between the several spaces filled with several strings of pearls of different sizes. Pearls, like so many festoons fastened from one shell to another. Okay, check out that video on the Temple of Telmuco, guys. It was actually in Georgia, I think. If like where they De Soto described it, because it was De Soto who wrote about it. It seems. Remember, most of the southeast was called La Florida. That's why they're saying Florida, not just the state of Florida today. And they found a temple, guys. They had 12 statues, 12 men going into it, and the temple was full of pearls, and the walls and the ceilings, and you see seashells, all this. And how they described it, they found so many pearls they couldn't carry them back. There were so many pearls that they had to leave so many behind. They couldn't carry them back. Where is this place today? What happened to it? They're hiding it from us, guys. It's in Georgia somewhere. The top of the wall inside the temple is adorned agreeably to the outside of the roof, for there is a kind of cornice made of large sea snail shells, ranged in very good order, with festoons of pearls between them hanging from the roof. Okay? Here then it will be remarked that the sea snail and fish were the strong marks of expression, evidently denoting a people who had sea divinities as the Ionians had, and who in the same way made them the strong characteristic of devotion. Okay? Temple pearls. Let me see. Hopefully it comes up. There we go. Look at that. Pearls and Temple of Pearls. The Temple of Ptolemy. That's the original. And then I redid just the temple part, right? The Temple of Ptolemy, the Palace of Pearls, Southeast USA, Hernando de Soto's description. All right. You see how we correlating why this guy did his research back in 1868. And you see, it took us 100 years. No, actually, what am I saying? It took us more than 100 and almost 200 years to remember about this, for us to bring this out. Ain't nobody talking about this. Ain't nobody talking about this except me. And this is not just to boost myself. I'm just saying, If you don't know about this, imagine all the videos and information I've gone over that you don't know. Okay? And who was the pearl divers? Who was the pearl divers? The Indians, not African slaves. They were enslaving Indians and making them dive for pearls. We went over that as well in this video. The Lucayan slave pearl, look at that. Okay? I've done my work, guys. I've done the research. I'm reading the primary sources. Hernando de Soto wrote about this place that this guy is literally talking about, just mentioned, and how he's correlating how that's a Dorian Ionian thing. Like, so again, Greeks sounds a lot like Greeks, doesn't it? Allegheny, look, Appalachian, Apollo. What are you trying to say, Kurimeo? You Greeks? No, it's bigger, it's deeper than that, man. It's deeper than that. The Americans may have selected a sea snail because he made his divine color from it. And if the Ionians were a colony or offshot from these American people, then the Ionic volute might have been suggested by the shell of the sea snail. The oracles, yeah, all that. Yeah, man, this one, catch up, brother, catch up. The oldest people of America were called the Chichimecas, or dogs. The Dorian race existed in America, or at any rate, the Doric order is found there. So that if the Dorian Hercules came from this American Dorian race, all right, where's Hercules coming from? This is correlating with that research we did on that book, Research into the Lost History of America. All right, where's Hercules from? / Samson. Where's Samson from? And this Dorian race learned how to make the purple dye from the Chichimecas, or dogs. We have a key to meaning the Phoenician myth concerning the discovery of the dye by a dog of Hercules. Okay, listen to that. Look at that. The Chichimecas, known as the dog people. The dog of Hercules did the dye. Come on now, guys. Like, come on. Now, how do the Chichimecas relate to the Chickasaw? They do. If you guys don't remember, we've gone over it. Right? At any rate, the union of these ideas in the old world, the dog of Hercules staining its mouth with the liquor of the sea snail, and the Phoenician fish god made like the Americans, seems to point more to a meeting of American peculiarities in the old world than does the form which the same ideas take in America point to there being a throw-off from the old world to America. It is possible that the way in which the Americans employed the fish, which ultimately became developed into two fish gods, God the Father and God the Father's Son, may have arisen from naturalism. But it is difficult to imagine that the Phoenician and Babylonians each likewise had their fish gods developed from natural causes, seeing that the Babylonian, by adding feet to his, dedicated it to the sun and not to the sea, to the male principle and not to the female. Okay, and we move on. Man, maybe I should stop here and just do a part 2. What do you guys think? You guys enjoying it or what? Because it does get tiring reading for 3 hours long, man. Like, but this is what I'm saying. Where's the love? Where's the love, man? Because I'm not just talking or letting other people talk and be quiet for hours. Like, I'm really doing the work, guys. Should I stop it right here and just do a part 2 tomorrow? What do you guys say? What do you guys think? Or you want me to keep going? You want me to keep going or what? Battery's at 4%. Hey, man, put it to charge while you're watching, man. Put it to charge while you're watching, man. You don't have to hold the phone. Oh, he said, James, I'll keep it going, man. It's tiring, guys. It's tiring to read for 3 hours. My mouth starts getting dry. And I'm only like halfway through. Imagine, like, I guess I shouldn't be going back and showing references. I should just read the article so I can go through it faster. We're talking about India, huh? Keep going. Everybody say, keep going, Kurimeo. Don't worry, man. You can do it, man. You can do it, Kurimeo. This is easy. I'm just chilling, listening, lying down, eating my popcorn. Show me the love, guys. Show me the love, man. Show me the love. Motivate me. Show me the love. Show me the love. Because you see, I ain't getting no traffic. I only got 200 people here. See, the thing is, guys, like, this is the other thing. Now, it's a 3-hour video. Imagine people who don't know me, people don't have the patience or discipline to sit through longer videos than 20 minutes, right? With moving tags and theme music behind it. And I'm just here to make you stink. Those people will never sit down and watch these videos, especially if I keep going, making this 4 or 5 hour. Imagine. This is why people they're not here. They'd rather go watch gossip and people talk. He said, keep it up, give it up, keep the flame, keep it like, take a break if needed, get some water. I'm drinking water, man. It's just, we're only like halfway through, and this is gonna be long. This is a lot to digest. I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2, guys, because I don't see no love. Where's the love? Show me some love. Motivate me to stay on right now. Should I start a goal? Should I start a goal? He's gonna get into Hindustan now, right? I mean, we know who the ancient Nagas are. I think, guys, that I'm gonna listen to my voice. And yeah, I don't, you know, everybody just says, keep going. Where's the love? Where's the love? There you go, Petros. Petros, keep up the good work. Okay, Petros, now you, okay. Petros just gave me a little motivation. Yeah, maybe come back in an hour. That's true. I could do that as well. I could do that as well. I could do that as well too. Hey, much love, Petros. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, man. You guys, it's not easy reading for 3 or 4 hours on a live. Okay, I had to stop stretching a while here. Yeah, imagine, I haven't even stretched. I'm sitting down in a chair. That messes up my back. That's the other thing. Go play, he says. Go play. Go play what? Go play what? Hey, Petra, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Show how the Indians are Indians. What are you talking about, Cosima? What are you talking about, Cox? That makes no sense to me. What do you mean? Keep going, love this. I lift weights and listen to keep going. That's what I'm saying. You love this? Show me some love, no name. Hey, Jizz, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. I'll get you any chair you want. I got a ergonomic chair. I have a really good chair. If not, I would my back would be fucked up if I didn't have this chair. But it's still tiring to sit for 3 or 4 hours straight, guys. And on top of that, before I started, I had to get the video ready. I had to create the thumbnail. So I was already sitting for like an hour or two. You know, like, you guys, this is the things you don't see. This is all the stuff you don't see, right? Or maybe I should do part 2 for the Patreons. Or maybe I should just do part 2 for the patrons. Hey, Carrie, thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. So I think I'm gonna end it because, man, Dan Walden said keep going. He said, oh man, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you. If I would have been seeing these coming up as I was reading, I probably would have kept going, man. Refresh yourself. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that should do that. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you. I love more, but love and respect says to tell you to rest and come back later. Okay, yeah. See, that sounds more reasonable. It's not even because I'm tired, but especially because I know people will not give it a chance if I go past 4 hours. Like, imagine, imagine somebody that's not disciplined, guys, who don't know anything. They see, oh, this is 3 hours. I'm not gonna watch this. I don't got no hour. I got 3 hours to waste. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do a part two, man. I didn't know I was gonna take, so I actually thought I was gonna read this book really quick, but because I was live, I wanted to show a lot of context while I was reading, guys. It brought up so many good topics. You know, it brought up so many good topics that I wanted to just, you know, and I saw some new people, so I wanted to just give reference, you know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do part two just so the video's not so long, so people can actually sit down and watch it. I just want people to really sit down and watch it. Again, No Name says, I wish me speak directly, you and I. Why haven't you reached out to me? Like, why? What are you waiting for? I answer all my messages, guys, on every platform. Ask anybody has contacted me. I answer all my messages. I haven't checked Instagram in a couple of days because I've been sick. And right now, guys, just to let you know, I've been almost a month and a half or 2 months without a phone. I haven't been able to go live on my phone because of that, or go in my yard. My phone just, like, the button to turn on just died completely. The screen is messed up. And, you know, electronics here are like triple the price. Electronics here in Costa Rica are like triple the price of what you guys pay because everything's imported. It's just ridiculous here, the price. And I just haven't been able to save up to get a new phone. And like, that's where I was checking all my Instagram messages and sharing stuff on Instagram. And I just haven't been able to keep up with that. Okay. Eat some watermelon. But we prefer you prefer long videos. People, you don't know how many dumb messages I get. Come back, why you gotta be so long? Oh my gosh. You say we prefer, but you also prefer the 20-minute videos because I see who got more subscribers than me and more love, more people in their lives, 1,000, 1,500, 20, 30-minute videos, yeah, with flashy music and suspenseful themes and trending topics, right? But I appreciate you guys anyways. I know that the real ones, you guys, I do know that you guys watch the videos long. You watch them all and you're here every time. You try to catch up on all the videos. So I appreciate you guys, okay? I'm just gonna end this one right here just because I want people to actually sit down and watch the videos, you know? Just so people can actually, you know, them not thinking about the time and actually sit down and enjoy what you guys enjoyed today and have that experience, you know? Okay? So apologies if you're like, oh man, yeah, we're gonna have a part two. We're gonna have a part two, okay? Show me some love on part two when I come back. Show me some love on part two. Hey, hold on. Let me thank out everybody. Hold on. Petros, we got that. Jizz, yup. Hey, Dance, thank you. Thank you, Dance Walden. Lem Hendricks, thank you, man. Thank you for that. Alex Tex, thank you, man. Thank you for that. Hope you're okay in Texas. Hopefully everybody's okay in Texas. LG, thank you. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for that. All right. I love y'all. Thank you. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. We're gonna go out with one from Science. He was on the chat earlier, but we're gonna go out with one of his beats. We actually did that. The intro was from Olmec 12. Shout out to Olmec. Okay, we're gonna go out with one from Science. The name of this is called Serial Killer. Because we just killing it. We've been killing it all day. We've been killing it for the last 8 years, okay? See, I already got people dropped. Already 50 people dropped. They ain't trying to hear me talk. They just want me to read and stuff. All right. Appreciate you guys. This was so much drop. I enjoyed reading this article. We're probably gonna get a lot of drop on part two too. All right. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate you guys. Much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. Hawaii. hope you hear what I'm stressing. Knowledge is a gift, overstanding is a blessing. Deciphering the tab is seeking truth, no second guessing. Are you listening? Ancestors calling. The seals are open, not just rising, no more stalling. Wasting too much time, these memories are haunted. We found Indian burial grounds and Negroes in the coffin. Wow.